Our ancestors built the first city as a beacon of peace on Earth. And it almost was. Until one night, an unseen force plucked it from the very face of the Earth and placed it under unfamiliar stars. It was a bountiful world with no sign of civilization. A world we named Paragon. With no way to return home, we adapted. New governments were built from the seeds of our past, and with them grew new ways of life. But the vices of old still festered. Organized crime bled out from the shadows and took root, preying on the foundation of our new home. But this world had one more surprise in store. A mysterious element in the atmosphere that gave a fraction of the population superhuman abilities. Under the leadership of the city's first hero, the Age of Legends had begun. 300 years later, Paragon thrives under the protection of its champions. And yet, the shadows of the past still linger. When darkness rises, it will fall to the next generation of young heroes to defend the first city. Welcome to the First City, the show where teamwork is just a big robot away. Happy to have everybody back. We are just going to jump right into it because last time on First City, after the sudden appearance of one Jeremy Johnson, a very dramatic appearance, mind you, into the Moonlight Academy, a meeting was immediately held regarding not only what Jeremy knows about what has occurred and where he has been.
And his fate.
And his fate, yes. That's where I was going with that. But what was to be done with him now as he is asking for asylum. You were all involved in this conversation, seeing as though you were right in the line of fire.
But
just hold for applause there for a second. Oh my god, the fire pun! Yeah. So after that, you guys were also asked to, well, BB was specifically asked by her mother, Dr. Tara Baker, to have a meeting / conversation about some things that she has learned and wants to pass on to you. BB, rebellious as ever, decided to bring the whole gang, except Jeremy, of course, who probably shouldn't be leaving the confines of the school at this time.
fuck my mom.
And as you arrived at that very tense meeting, you learned some things, particularly about certain government conversations regarding psychics and about the potential of a secret unrecorded meeting in the near future between you and your clone, the Silencer. Meanwhile, Jeremy was brought to Nova Skybase to meet with all of the members of Nova, where it was decided that not only would Jeremy be given asylum, but that he would be allowed to study alongside the other hero teams, particularly with Team Pantheon. And as you shuttled back down to the training city at Moonlight Academy, you all lined up together for another installment of Big Robot. And on that note, we smash cut to you all sort of standing together in a circle around the remains of Big Robot after a successful training session that almost just flew right by you. And there's this moment of recognition as you all sort of lock eyes with each other. And you look down and you see this big hulking robot, the metal plates torn open in places by a spear, bits of circuitry kind of sparking out. You see elements of electricity flaring and burning where Silhouette had used her whip that she has her electro whip thing.
Yeah.
You see singed elements all across it on its surface. And of course, there are holes where the plates have been exposed, where BB got shots in. This thing has been cleanly just taken down. And in this moment of reflection, Pantheon sails down to you, amongst you. She puts one foot up on it, sort of Captain Morgan's herself. And she's smiling and she looks at you guys and she goes, now that was a successful big robot.
That was our best time, right? Because I don't think we could have done that any faster than we did.
Yeah, that was your best time. That was impressive.
It's because we have the power of a fucking sun now on our team.
Yeah. And she walks over to Jeremy and she claps you on the shoulder a little bit, almost like she's high-fiving your shoulder. And she goes, how you feeling?
Oh, no wonder my fucking RP power isn't working. I'm not plugged in. There we go. Oh, now I'm ready to go. Now I'm ready to RP. He'll look up at her.
Yeah.
Keep that in the episode. He'll look up to Pantheon and say, well, it's been a while since I've trained alongside other people. Sorry if I nearly set you on fire. And he'll look at Silhouette, especially when he says that. Haven't fought along people who could turn invisible. That's new.
I didn't, I am burnless. So we're good for right now, but I'm glad to know that you're thinking about it. She kind of blinks at you like,
So what do we do now? Another robot?
No. I think we've done enough big robot for now. And didn't you guys tell me you have like Ivy's doing something? There's like a party happening.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing a little party on the 4th, I think. And I assume we're all invited because he asked us if we wanted to go. And I think we're going.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I want to give you guys some time to prep for that and stuff. That's totally cool. Also, I've got some stuff to, continue discussing. So I can let you guys go. It's been an interesting day. And hey, team bonding and team building is something that should not always involve me. So if you guys want to go have a conversation about this, you know what? I've decided your homework is to right now just go spend some time together, talk a little bit about this fight, analyze it amongst yourselves without me. Because it shouldn't be always about me.
Before you leave, though, we'll do that 100%. But easiest homework ever. I'm gonna take Vivi and Silhouette off to the side, do a little quick huddle. When are we gonna fucking tell Pantheon and or Fortress about what we did yesterday? Today? Earlier today? Or
earlier today.
Earlier today.
I think. Yeah.
Maybe that should be now. I think this would be the time to bring it up, because otherwise the weekend will go by and then it'll just be weird after the weekend. So I'll be like, why didn't you tell me this before?
Right.
But I know when my mom's going to contact me. So yeah, let's
also
now.
Unrelated question, but still in the same vein. When are we going to talk about Helix, and when are we going to talk to him about it?
What, you mean him being like the shadow box?
And I really loud to mask what BB's saying.
When you really loud, you're huddling just with the 3, right? With you guys. So Pantheon sidles up to Jeremy
a certain number of feet away, however far you guys walked. And she looks at you and she goes, don't feel bad. This is just something they do. It probably means that they're about to tell me something.
See, I was wondering. They're not very good at being sneaky with their words, are they?
Well, I mean, I'm deliberately not listening.
Jeremy's gonna try to listen in and hear all that stuff. I want to see if
Do it.
Watch this. Oh, that one's cocked. I know. 1 out of 5.
Oh no!
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty bad fail. I feel like something like that should be opposed usually, but I'll leave it to your guys' discretion because that's such a bad roll. If you don't feel the need to oppose that and just let it fail, I'm happy to let that go.
Please just let it fail.
I'm just gonna let it. Okay, we'll just let it. Yeah.
Well,
You don't hear.
the opposition could be, what is the thing that he hears incorrectly? Maybe he hears something so wrong that it
Yeah.
just completely throws him off base. But I can't think of what that would be. So
no.
maybe we edit this out.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, that's really fun. Okay.
When are we going to talk about Helix? What with him being something funny? Something funny.
I think maybe the closest thing to Shadowboxer in terms of a hominid would be like shallow water.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like wearing boxers, like they're talking about Helix's boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Oh.
group of female presenting people talking about Helix's boxers.
So Jeremy, you fully think that they're talking about Helix's underwear preferences right
A
now?
wave of fear comes over him. And horror. He has glanced at the eldritch unknowns.
Well, do we need to talk to him about that? Like, does it matter?
I mean, I have questions, mainly related to his safety.
Oh, that's fair. We could talk to him about it at the party. We pull him aside.
I feel like that's too many people, though.
I
just wanted to bring up the idea of talking to him about it, since we were already talking to Pantheon about something. You know what I mean? We were already in the vein, but like we don't have to address that
Oh yeah,
completely right now.
We can. I think the time will maybe present itself for
Yeah.
us. I don't think the party's a bad option though if we could find a
Mhm.
quiet place. But let's go tell Pantheon that other stuff.
Do you want to lead it, open it, or should I? Or Silhouette?
I can lead it, but I would really like you guys to help me fill in information that I may have forgotten in some kind of anger-induced fugue state.
Okay.
So we head back over, I imagine.
Yep.
So we do have something we wanted to tell you.
I had no idea.
I
Don't need a willpower check
I
to know
know.
that she's big as shit.
We're really good at keeping secrets. But we kind of went to lunch with my mom.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it was fine. But she kind of laid out a lot of information. One piece of information being that the silencer won't speak to anyone except for me and my friends. And my mom is apparently capable of setting us up with an interview with her that would be unrecorded at Blackstone. And she kind of implied that we shouldn't tell you this, which, is dumb. So I'm not doing that.
Typical. Wow. Well, first of all, if the silencer is saying that she'll only speak to you, my first concern is she naming you by name?
No.
Okay.
She said she'll only speak to her sister and her friends.
Okay.
No one knows we were in Amberley, according to Dr. Baker. Still.
And also,
That much I knew.
Apparently, Asher's also been promoted to some kind of liaison between the government and our school and non-governmental superhero entities.
Yeah, that's coming in as well. That's something I was hoping to discuss with you soon. The official word hasn't fully come out, but she has been herself pretty open with Fortress, that line of communication there. So that's probably good news, I would say.
And what's the official word on the Father Fear incident? Because she told us that both the warden and the drivers believed what they were doing was correct and what they were ordered to do.
Tonatrus has been allowed to participate in the investigation considering the circumstances, and he was privy to this information as well. It's something that is going to need some further discussion. But yes, it is unsettling determining whether or not these people are lying is well, frankly, that's ordinarily a job for Fortress, but given not only legal but ethical constraints, that's not exactly a viable option.
Well, it might be in the future.
Because we learned that the government is trying to push through some kind of act that would allow psychically obtained evidence to be admissible in cases.
Even from non-consensual situations.
Wow. You're sure that she was telling the truth about this?
No, I mean, but I don't know why she would lie about something so specific.
When we didn't ask for it or anything.
The issue has come up before pretty early on, as in still in Moonrider's time early on. This is one of the first issues that needed tackling when enhanced individuals began to manifest here. There will always be debate surrounding the place of heroes and the legal constraints surrounding them. That line between what is legal and what is ethical, that dates back to before there were ever people like us. I guess in a way I shouldn't be too surprised that this issue is coming up again, especially in light of what's going on. But I can't say that, in my opinion, it bodes well. I don't have any connections to the government, honestly. I don't know how these things are going to go down, and presumably these are preliminary discussions, things happening behind closed doors, not, bills being drafted, not being passed around yet.
But my mom has a way of accelerating things that she wants, and if this is something that she wants, then I think you better keep your ear to the ground.
Believe me, we have as many ears to the ground as we can spare. I guess I'm just worried that what we're listening for is distinctly underground, metaphorically, criminally speaking.
That makes that makes sense. So now we just go enjoy our day, right?
Yeah. Look, I don't love the idea of you guys going by yourselves to Blackstone in general, but particularly to speak to Silencer. I don't know what to expect. I mean, the place itself ordinarily is safe. Now, there's a reason why we keep people there. I mean, there are a lot of regulations on that place. But when we talk about best efforts to regulate a place that is not abusive when we have snakes in the grass in those departments. Suddenly that all comes into question. We have people being transferred and escaping and claiming things that are explicitly false and not seeming like they're lying, but none of it really makes sense right now. We're missing a lot of pieces, and I hate that you're the ones still having to be pieces and put them together at the same time. It's not fair. So yeah, for the time being, until you hear more, until we've discussed it more on our end, on Nova's end, yeah, try to enjoy your time, spend time together, get acquainted, analyze the battle, and try to have fun on Sunday. I know it's been a while since I've done 4th of July stuff. It doesn't really mean anything to me in particular. I mean, I'd be eating hamburgers and hot dogs anyway. So nothing particularly for me, but I have a feeling you guys will have a good time.
Yeah, I have no doubt. It's been a while since I've celebrated myself, so it'll be nice to celebrate with friendly faces.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it. And I'll see you guys on Monday.
See you on Monday.
See me and our good friend Cambio.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
He and I have been working on something that I think you will benefit from.
Why does that fill me with dread?
I can't answer that.
That's a you problem.
Well, bye.
Bye.
She just sort of looks back at the big robot remains, and you see that other robots are starting to sort of roll in and begin cleaning up the robot wreckage.
Listen, I'm not one to turn down big robot, but when are we gonna fight things that are alive?
I really don't know if I want to fight anything that's alive, but unless it's very clear that we're not going to be actually hurting one another.
I mean, we fought some alive people already.
And it was fun. Until I almost died.
Silhouette
Yeah,
has a
that
face
was-
journey of like,
Yeah, that's when it really, really stopped being fun. Maybe that's what we'll be doing with Cambio, though.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Sparring.
Fighting. Ooh. I don't know if I want to fight Knock Knock, though. She's I mean, I'm intrigued on what getting possessed would feel like, but I also don't want to find out.
I'm also not super into the idea of fighting Poltergeist, because he just seems like he probably has a lot of tricks up his psychic sleeve.
And good luck with me fighting Canvas. I mean, I'm strictly a close range fighter, and he can from pretty far.
So we'll see. But I guess. So what? Are you thinking something?
well, no, I mean, I've studied Cambio a bit, as much as any other hero, and like I don't know. It wouldn't really fit his style to just like make us fight each other. But then again, I have
would be
the
pretty
teacher
funny.
context is pretty
Yeah.
different. So that team, they're really outside the box and adaptable, and what we've talked to them about already, it sounds like they've done a lot of like researching and philosophy and stuff. So I don't know if I can even expect it to be a combat thing. I never know what to expect anymore for this half, and I kind of love it. I kind of hate it, but I mostly like it.
Jeremy, what about you? You gonna come to this party?
Oh, I wasn't sure that I was invited.
Well, here's the
You're-
thing about the culture of the school. Even if you're not invited, us telling you is essentially an invite.
Then,
We'll just be like,
That's
yeah,
true.
we're bringing Jeremy. And what?
sure, I'm down. Do you think they'll have ribs there? Haven't had those in a while.
Almost undoubtedly.
Oh, thank God.
You've
Hmm?
No, you've never had. Yeah, this is like your second day. You've never had Ivy's ribs.
No,
You're
I
gonna
don't.
learn. You gonna
I'm
learn.
still trying to figure out if ivy
They're
as
so
in
fucking
ivy
good.
like a plant or ivy as in the medical implement.
IV is in 4 because he has 4 very strong arms and 4 armpits, which is kind of gross.
Not all the time. Usually he's got 2, but he just sort of goes like.
Yeah, if you see him starting to bring them out, just look away because it is kind of gross, but he gives really good hugs.
I don't have a phone anymore, and he'll just kind of walk away. just like
So, if there is anything specific, sort of outside the realm of party stuff, that you guys want to do on the following Saturday or for the rest of the of this Friday, you guys are welcome to tell me that now, and we'll go through it. Otherwise, we'll pick up on Sunday, on the day of the 3rd of July 3rd. And before we get into that, though, I will ask you that if there's anything you guys do on Saturday.
Wait, I thought the 4th was a Sunday.
No, the 4th is Monday.
Oh.
But what you know about this party
Oh, that's right.
is
We're having
that
it early.
First of all, the 4th of July it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because the first city, by its very nature, it is a very global place. And that's not even factoring in the, removal from Earth circa hundreds of years. So the idea of like celebrating the 4th of July, there's just certain people who still do it, right? And that celebration of that has changed and takes on different context depending on who's celebrating it.
Proud to be an American.
You know that Ivy has a connection to that part of his family history. And so he specifically wanted to do this, but his way of doing it, he's kind of treating it like a New Year situation where you guys, the party is going to take place in the evening, and then you'll get to midnight and like do a cool thing at midnight and be like, yay, and that'll be it.
Nice.
It is a classic, what he is calling a classic American barbecue, which may not mean anything to you, or it might. Who knows? I feel like for BB that might actually be something.
BB's probably pretty stoked on this. I think that she celebrated 4th of July kind of with her dad whenever he was around for that day. And it was probably like ribs and burgers and watermelon and flag cake. Even though none of that necessarily or at least the flag cake doesn't necessarily have any contextual meaning anymore, beyond just the holiday. So I think she's stoked, and I think she texts troublemakers, or troubleshooter, excuse me. She's also a little bit of a troublemaker. Text troubleshooter, I'm like, you going to the party? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, you would get a response like an hour later.
Oh God. What does it say?
Yeah, food and beer with a question mark, and then just like sounds like an event.
BB responds, "Woo!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point! And that's it. Thumbs up. And that's all I wanted to do for that day, really.
Okay.
That made me the flag thing made me realize, do the sort of nations of Alma have different flags?
Ooh.
Is there a first city flag?
Yeah, there should be a first city flag, and we can all design that together if you want to.
Oh boy.
We can like take time to do that at some point.
Hell yeah. One city under Moonrider. Indivisible.
There's not is there any really like defining qualities about First City?
Well, the defining quality of First City is that it is a place that was built not under the direct control of any one nation when it was first made. It was a place that was made in tandem globally by representatives from places all over Earth. So that is the defining feature. That, and when the city was built at the time back on Earth, on that island that it was built on, it was designed to become the city of the future. They wanted to bring great minds and thinkers and artists and like as many different kinds of people as they could possibly get to expose each other to different ideas and innovate together to try and propel everyone, to propel the world into a brighter future that they built together specifically.
But it's not like the California bear or like the eagle with the snake for Mexico. Like there's nothing like for like Silver Falls or whatever it's called. I would imagine that their flag is like a waterfall or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like for First City, we would have to work on that, I think, because there's nothing like that.
It's just a number one in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
They were number one.
Hell yeah. That's just all it's gonna be, no matter what we come up with. It's just be a one in Comic Sans.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was just my general question. I think Haramon that night will be like, wait, we're coming over on Sunday anyways. I don't need to come over tonight to cook with you. We'll just push all that to Sunday to Ivy, because they were going to do that Friday night. And they're like, that's stupid. Why would I'm just gonna come over in 2 days. So
he sends you back 4 thumbs up emojis, 2 stacked on top of 2.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love him. I don't think there's anything that like Hermione needs to do. I think you just see on Saturday, like Hermione just sort of like wakes up and like can't really move very well. Like it looks like it hurts to move, and we see her like go over and take out this like dried sprig of a leaf. When you cut grass and like there's weeds and you leave them out in the sun, and the weed part leaf gets like really like crunchy and like shrivelly. It's like that. And she just puts it in her mouth and starts chewing, and then about 15 minutes later, like she's able to like move as normal, and no one is the wiser, but we know.
Whoa. Okay.
But
so Hermione wouldn't have left their room before doing that, so no one else would have seen.
Well, I think you see Hermione chewing something as they like shuffle around to like go to the bathroom and like get breakfast, but like it's easily passed off as like chewing gum, so it's not very conspicuous.
For sure, no worries. I just wanted to see if Baby would know.
But yeah, I think you see Hermione doing the thing, but nothing about the actual thing is like, oh, what's that? Like, I mean, you
Fair
can
enough.
ask if you were curious, and they would answer, but
I don't know if you don't normally chew gum, right? Like I don't know if I've seen you chew gum before. This is in character.
no, we don't really. I mean, we have gum, but it's just not like my favorite thing to do.
What are you chewing on then?
Oh, it's just it's just helps making my life easier. Just makes moving around easier. Sometimes my bones and my joints and my muscles, they're trying to fight me, and I need to do stuff because I'm here and I'm in a high mobility training program, and I can't afford to not be in pain or not be able to move.
Yeah, no, that's brutal. Well, if you ever want to stretch, let me know. We've got the whole backyard. Limber. loose, strong. That's what Pantheon says, right?
I think at one point she might have said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it might not have been to us. I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
do have something actually. Now that I thinking
Ooh.
about it, I think Harriman will just flat out ask BB where'd the accent go.
Oh, that accent is something that I associate with being a hero. And I don't know if I have earned the right to use that yet. At least that's how I feel. After everything that went down in Amberley, I just don't. It's not what a hero would have done. So, until further notice, it's my normal voice. And also, like, I don't know. Once we get out into the world and we're not in the school environment, and there is like a very clear delineation between our hero self and our normal real life self, I don't know how much I'm going to be using that voice in my real life. So, figuring it out. We just started here, so I figured there's still a branding process to go through, I guess, even though that sounds and feels gross to say. But thanks for asking, because yeah, that means a lot that you noticed.
I mean, I think it's great just in general. Our gut was kind of missing it, but that makes sense to me. So, and I respect that.
I think it'll come back. We'll just have to wait and see.
I think you deserve to bring it back, but that's just me,
Well, until further notice, I can record troubleshooter talking if you ever need a little bit of like a hit of that accent.
That's weird, but also very funny.
True.
Can we get Jeremy a phone, please?
Yeah,
Please?
please get Jeremy a phone. Also, I figured
get Jeremy a phone.
we would take a day I figured we'd take a day that we have off to like show Jeremy around to places that he maybe hasn't seen before and introduce him to the people that we meet along the way.
Yeah, you like bring him to the auditorium to show like where assemblies happen and stuff. You can show around like more of the library for sure.
Ship shake.
Shake.
That makes sense. Go into your favorite diner that you spend a lot of time, have a lot of important conversations at.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just a nice like a little tour day for sure.
I'm also going to text Teatro because when we go to Ship Shake, I see the Titan Wild Cafe and I'm like, and I'm going to text Teatro. Do you want to do me a solid?
Do you want to destroy this franchise with me?
Question mark.
How would you feel about just digging up as much information as possible on the people who run the Titan Wild Cafe company and like, I don't know, their personal opinions on the Titan Wild and the Custodi and all that. Heart, the like bigger pink heart with the tinier pink heart floating above it emoji.
There's like bubble typing, pause, typing, pause. Then you get an intriguing proposition. One that perhaps is worth pursuing.
Yo, this man typed that and then sent a voice audio message. That's a power move.
I do read texts in character voices. That is true, but that wasn't text. It's just more fun that way.
True.
I'm gonna just type back. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Also, are you going to the party tomorrow? Should I bring any snacks for you as payment?
Mhm. No. Please do not pay for truth. I would like to be a friend, not a resource. And yes, this time I will be there.
I think Hermon just sends a gif of someone just being like, yeah. I assume there's no response after that.
There's just a yeah.
Yeah. He just sends a little typed emoticon of like a little like face, a little like like a capitalized J and a colon face, or colon and a capitalized J face, just like.
Cool.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You're going to destroy them.
Cease
and desist.
Jeremy's got 3 things that he's going to do Saturday.
Oh, hell yeah.
So first thing, he's going to go to Fortress's office.
Ask for a phone.
Yes, that is exactly what he's going to do. But he's going to also specify that he would like that phone to have like a special like emergency call that's tied directly to Nova.
Oh.
So like if like on like the lock screen with the pin number, if he types 7 like 4 times, it'll like alert Nova that he's in danger and like send him like live updates of his current position of GPS etc, you know.
Yo.
Okay. Yeah, she tells you that she will arrange to have someone go and procure one for you, that you don't have to worry about price or anything like that. And she says that she needs to work with Dr. Quickstep a little bit to make some modifications for your safety, as you're requesting.
Sick.
Nice.
All right. Then he'll ask her which way the library is.
Oh yeah, she tells you where that is.
And finally, he'll ask her like where he can requisition some more clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, because you don't have any money.
I don't have any money. I don't have any clothes. I destroyed my phone.
Yeah, she sort of thinks for a second and ultimately lands on the idea of saying that like she sort of regrets that how hard it is to navigate this right now, because you know she wants you to be able to pick out your own clothes, but you have to like leave to do that, which is not really an option right now. And she assures you that she wants to work toward that, to getting to a place where it's safe for you to like leave the school, and that time will come soon. But for the time being, maybe you should put in some like size and order specifications of things to maybe like order online or something, you know.
He just needs like more of his
Underwear.
like black compression shirts and like
Hell
the same type of pants. Black pants. He's very simplistic with his style.
Yeah, and I think she can direct you to a couple of things. Like there are things, you know, on campus. There's like a student store and stuff, and you can go and you can like procure some stuff, or she can just have some stuff sort of brought to you. But she definitely says like something along the lines of that in these very particular circumstances, she's comfortable with there being like a sort of new student grant kind of a situation to make sure that you have what you need to live. And
waste their money.
She starts telling you, you know, if you can make a list of, you know, like your size and the kinds of clothes that you want to be brought here, and things that you would need in that regard. Yeah.
All right. He'll thank Fortress, and he'll just go to the library. First, he'll just like make a list of like his size and just like 3 compression shirts, 3 pants, 3 pairs of underwears, 3 pairs of socks. Very simple. And then he'll go and he'll just case the entire library to see like what their records on like Earth mythology, Earth like nations, Earth history, like case all of that stuff. And also he'll check to see like what like the mythologies of what like they have on like the mythologies of Paragon and that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, this is one of the most expansive libraries in the world, really, at this point in time. So, you know, there is plenty of documentation on Earth history. I don't know how much of that you want to like role play and talk about, because that's just talking about real Earth history, but then plus some extra time that is, you know, fictional time. But yeah, as far as like Paragon mythology as well, you can definitely do that. It is largely mostly you'll find things about like legal precedent and a lot of scientific sort of papers on people theorizing what is going on, where we are in space. You see that timeless debate that's been happening of like, you know, were we brought here by something, or was there something on Earth that did this? Are we in the same dimension? There are a lot of like what do you always say? There's a word that you say for like theories that are like wild theories that are not likely.
Crack theories?
Yeah. There are like crack theories that it's like, yeah, we're in like a completely other dimension. Like we're not even in the known universe anymore, which there's not really any evidence of, but a lot of people like think that, you know. And of course the interplay of what exactly this sort of power manifestation element in the atmosphere truly is, what Illustrium is, how it actually works, how powers are selected. And like there are philosophers who go on about like, you know, the powers are specific to people, you know, like what comes first, the personality or the power, and why do they so often gel together? What is the purpose? You know, it's a lot of stuff like that, right? And you start realizing like, yeah, you kind of already knew that even after all this time, there are no solid answers about how things work in this place. There are only different people's reactions to it, whether that's religious, cultural, or anything else, any other context people brought with them and have evolved with them here sort of shapes people's perspective on why things are the way they are.
Sick. He's just gonna spend like 7 hours there, just diving deep, because that's where he works out. He works out at the library.
I don't need therapy. I just go to the library.
Okay. It's worth noting that while you're there in the library, and you're there for so long, it starts to get late and there aren't a lot of people there. You hit a point where, you know, there's only a couple of wayward souls left in this place, but one of those people is Helix. And you do see him sort of isolated in a cubicle in passing. And you see him, wearing a long sleeve black shirt. His hair is down and kind of in his face. And as you walk by him to sort of get where you're going, maybe you're going to like put a book back or something, and you pass by the terminal he's working at, he turns to look at you, and you see that he is wearing these dark, round sunglasses that completely cover his eyes. And as he turns to look at you, there's this like small moment where the expression itself isn't readable because his eyes are covered very strangely in this indoor environment. And do you like is there a moment of lock eyes, or are you just like
I mean, I feel like that's the only option there. If there's this man that's wearing sunglasses indoors while the sun is setting,
because you don't know who this is, right? Like you fully there's no reason for you to know who this is.
Are they like Neo glasses or John Lennon glasses?
They're like
just
big.
black round sunglasses. They don't even really have rims. They're just like round black
Morpheus
lenses.
glasses, where they don't even have like
Ooh.
the things that go on your ears.
They
Just-
They do go like under his hair because his hair is so crazy. Like you don't really see those parts, but
Do they look
they are
like
there.
Do they look like they're intentionally trying to cover the skin around his eyes?
Well, that's hard to gauge because they just do.
They just do.
Yeah.
But like the size of them, it do.
Yeah, they go. They're a little bit bigger than the glasses I'm wearing, but they're perfectly round.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Yeah.
suspicious.
His eyebrows are so thick that like when if he were to raise them, which he does, he raises one eyebrow, and you do see the bit of the top of his eyebrow poking out from behind the sunglasses. And in that moment of sort of awkward eye contact or eye to lens contact, he goes, sorry to, I don't mean to stare. You're, are you Jeremy Johnson?
Yes, I am the boy who lived. You may bow. He says that very obviously, like joking with him. Like he's not being serious. He'll give him like a wink.
He sort of just goes like, huh. Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Helix, by the way. I've heard some things that you were around. I was actually hoping to meet you at some point.
Well, gotta say, sunglasses indoors. Love the power move.
And that he does kind of. I wouldn't say power really has anything to do with it so much as yeah, well, sometimes I don't sleep particularly well, and the fluorescent lights in here, I just need a little bit of
Respect that.
Sometimes fluorescent lights are a little bit harsher than the sunlight. And if you want to, like, if you care about whether or not he's lying, you can try to see that.
I know a man who's been kept up with a good book when I see him. I understand completely.
Cool.
So, what is it there that you're reading, if anything?
And you look over his shoulder and you see the screen that he's working on. It's like it's black, but the computer is on. The light is on, so you can tell that he had like a hotkey that he just like turned off what he was doing. Oh, just a little last minute research for Tonotrus.
Ooh, some last minute research there, huh? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you know about him, but investigation is pretty much the key to our training. So he assigns a lot of case studies, things like that. I'm a little behind. Been pretty busy lately, so just catching up.
Case studies. Mm-hmm. All right, I get you, and he'll he'll nudge him with his elbow a little bit.
Where do you nudge him?
I don't know, like on the arm, kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh God.
You nudge
Oh,
him.
no.
You nudge him here, and like you feel that hard resistance of someone who is tense, especially of a very muscular person who is tense. And as you do that, there's this brief like an almost a wince in a way. And you can't see his eyes, so it's unclear what exactly that is, but there's like a brief like recoil. Almost imperceptible, but you do see it because you've touched him. So you feel that like, and he leans forward in his chair and he goes, Well, it was good to meet you, Jeremy. I hope we get to work together soon. But if you'll excuse me, I do have a lot of work to catch up on.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Hey, if you're going to this party that Ivy, I think is his name, is throwing, I'd love to catch up with you there. Love to figure out what you love reading here.
Well, I'm not sure if anyone's told you. I mean, that is also the house that I live. That's, Ivy is on my, we're on the same team. But unfortunately, I have a lot of business to take care of in the city tomorrow. It's unfortunate, but I probably won't make it. And you actually did, like, you do hear like distant sort of just siren-y, bustly sounds. Like, you're very aware of it's nighttime and the city is outside somewhere, and those sounds sort of just echo, just bleed in the distance. And you see him sort of drift off and react to it, almost like ambient city sounds just sort of call him in a strange way. And he looks up to it, and there's this strange silence that seems to permeate out of him in a way you're not sure if he can really control. And as he leans back in his chair, he goes, well, give the rest of Team Pantheon my best.
You are good with that detective stuff, but I'll be sure to do so. And Jeremy will stroll and replace the book and grab a different one and head back to where he was sitting.
Mm-hmm. You feel that sort of sensation of like walking away and someone is still watching you until you're far enough away before you hear the squeak of his chair sort of turn back around and you hear typing, just softly continuing.
Man wanted to hide his waifus from me, I understand.
Looking at porn in the library.
Wait, but did you guys notice that when you were talking about the city sounds coming in, a siren started going off in your background, and then it stopped once you said, and you can tell that he's being really quiet or something like that. It just immediately went away. It was so fucking cinematic.
I actually started narrating that because I didn't want to mute myself when the siren started. So
That was sick. That was so sick.
Improv,
That was
baby.
spooky.
I wasn't even in that scene, and my maternal like protective drive started going.
So that's where we'll leave that scene. And I think on that note, we can sort of forward to the next day, to Sunday, the 3rd,
Hell
the
yeah.
day of the party. And I think we're going to pick up somewhere around maybe 5:30 p.m. The party, people can start arriving at like around 6. And so we'll pick up firstly in House Pantheon,
Okay.
and see just a little glimpse of how you guys are getting ready for the party.
Well, we're not living together yet, right?
No. So I'll go over to Jeremy as well and see and pick up there as well.
I mean, Jeremy can like be here if he wants to be.
he can.
But if like he wants to also not, if he wants to be in his mansion alone.
Yeah, Jeremy's
also
living in
be-
an empty mansion right now, right?
Yeah.
As we continue to move over.
With the burned handprints of his clone in the windowsill
I'll say that
upstairs.
Okay, one, I'll say that he'll make his own set of handprints next to those. And two, he'll bring like all of basically his toiletries. He'll bring it and then go to Pantheon's house and see if he can move in with them.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Oh, hell yeah.
oh,
I mean, you can stay here, but we're gonna
go there.
we're gonna go to your place eventually.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
can stay here tonight if you want. Like, since we're all going to the party.
oh
we
no,
can
I'll
come
just
back here.
I'll just be there.
You know, actually, and BB will like grab some of her stuff and go with Jeremy back over to the mansion to bring stuff.
Yeah.
Start
Jeremy
moving
will
stuff over.
help you carry your stuff back to the man. I guess he's
Nice.
taking the room with the burned handprints.
Sounds good. BB will see that you chose that room, and she'll be like, "I jumped out of that window." It was
Why?
to save, because I was going to save people, but then I got a new power out of it, but it didn't end up being something that was overall helpful.
This is going to be the weirdest time of my life, isn't it?
Oh, it hasn't even started yet. Let's see how this party goes, and then we'll talk.
Oh boy.
What are you gonna wear? Black on black?
I'm just gonna be wearing
Gold.
the same thing, coat with the bronze detailings, black underneath, bronze bandana. Simple.
Do you think if I wore a bandana, would you be cool with that and we could match?
I mean, I don't know if you could ever match my style, but
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
definitely, I'm down for that.
BB's just wearing pretty much to the party boots, jeans, BB belt, white t-shirt with the red classic bandana kind of thing around her neck, like Jeremy's. And I think we just keep moving stuff as everyone continues to get ready.
So as you're, there is a point when you're at that house, the bigger house, where there is a knock at the door, at the front door, one that you're expecting. And when you open it, you do see two people. One is Backtrack.
Hey, Backtrack, what's up? And who else is
Not much. Backtrack is there, and he's also with who you know to be his best friend, someone that you've had a little bit of interaction with, but not too much. Solar Flare, who is a larger Samoan man with longer dark hair that he pulls up into a big bun. It's kind of messy, very wide features, very big dude with wide arms, wearing a white shirt, kind of a Henley shirt with a vest over it, kind of his trademark outfit that he wears. And as you open the door, Backtrack goes, "Oh, BB, you're over here. I just came to get Jeremy. I figured we all were going to go meet at the house, but that's good that you're here."
Oh yeah, we can just go back. I just Jeremy came over to the house and was like, "Should I stay here tonight?" And I was like, "Well, maybe we should just start moving stuff over." And so that's what we ended up doing. But yeah, we can all roll to the party together. Solar,
totally fair.
have you met Jeremy yet?
Oh yeah, Solar Flare, Jeremy, Solar Flare. Solar Flare looks at you and he goes, "Hey man, I have been waiting to meet you."
You'll see Jeremy just kind of like look up at them a little and like place a hand on his head and place a hand where he expects it to be and be like, "How much milk did you all drink to get so tall?"
I prefer coconut milk to real milk. Got kind of a sensitivity thing to real milk. So, I'm going to take that personally.
I love that in the future people still have allergies.
And then he erupts into laughter. Just this big, booming, hearty laugh. Almost a dad laugh in a way. It's just like,
Jeremy definitely joined him in that laugh.
Yep. And he gathers himself a little bit and he like instinctively just kind of snaps his fingers. And when he does so, you see this little puff of fire. And he goes, "You and I got a lot to talk about."
You're already going to be one of my best friends.
Hey man, I got no problem with that. And Backtrack is watching this, and you see his foot is kind of tapping. He looks a little bit nervous, and he looks down at. He takes out his phone and he clicks it on, and he looks at it, and he goes, "Should probably get going. I don't want to be."
Yeah, we can go. I mean, it's a party. We'll still be there.
Yeah,
you got everything, right?
Yeah. I have everything. BB goes to the fridge here and takes out a bunch of certain things, the freezer rather, and then is like, "Hold on 1 minute," and carries it over, passes it off to Ivy, and then comes back.
You mean to Solar Flare?
No, to whoever is cooking.
Oh, like at the party.
At the party, because
Okay.
I mean, it's. Oh wait, it's not at Team Prestige's house, is it?
No, it's at Team Tonitrist's house.
Okay, but it's on the same street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just go over there and drop that off and then come back.
Okay, you go over there and drop that off and come back.
But yeah, I have everything. We're good to go.
And Jeremy will be like, and don't worry, I found your library, fantastic library. And oh wait, I should probably get this. And he'll run upstairs and he'll grab like he'll hear some like rustling of papers or something, and he'll run back down and he'll just kind of like shove it in some side pocket and be like, all right, I think I have everything memorized, but I have my references if needed.
Cool.
Shall we
Solar Flare
go?
goes like, yeah, cool. Don't know entirely what you're talking about, but I believe it'll be awesome based on what I've heard about the dragon. Dragon, man. And then Backtrack goes, I should have foreseen this happening. All right, well, I guess let's hit it to it. And then we'll sort of do over back to your house. Haramon, how are you getting ready?
Whew, I've been thinking about what the fit. Like I think Haramon would treat this 4th of July party like the 2021 Met Gala of like what American fashion can I wear to be on theme, on brand for this party?
Hell
And so
yeah.
all I could really think about was like a
Crocs.
That's power.
That
That's
means
power
something
right
different
there.
for you.
Crocs with heels, man.
Crocs with heels, absolutely.
For you, Crocs is literal.
Yeah, Crocs is literal. But what I've landed on, bear with me because the vision I have is so like good and precise. But the on paper words are gonna sound like, what is it? Crack? Is it crack that you're smoking? T-Boz, like 90s T-Boz, but with like denim and gingham. Can you meet me?
That's
where
pretty
I'm at?
fly. Yeah, I can meet you there.
So that's sort
I
of
can
what
meet you
I
there.
have going on. I
That's
have like
fresh.
the big hoop earrings. I think the pants are denim, and then the like tube top sort of situation is like it's not like a straight up like a red gingham. It suits more of the skin tone and the color palette going on. And I think Haramon has that style that they had for the last party, where it's sort of like the side parts are in braids that go back and around behind the ears, and then like a big like mohawky situation that goes down the back.
Yo, that's sick.
Storm energy.
Just absolutely mwah. And that's what I got going on.
That's amazing.
What
As
about
you're
silhouette?
getting,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
as
go
you're
ahead.
getting ready, I was just gonna say, as you're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
ready, Silhouette runs down the hall into frame with you, and you see that she is wearing tan cargo shorts, not full cargo pants. But at the
Yes.
moment, she's just wearing like a dark colored sports bra, and she's holding up on wire hangers. And she goes, 2 different shirts. And she looks at you and she goes, Selena, I need your help. Okay, which one? This one or this one? And as she holds them up, you see 2 almost identical long shirts. One is black and one is ever so slightly off black.
Is it off black in a particular color, or is it off black in like a gray way?
Off black toward gray.
Off black towards gray.
They're almost identical.
So what we got going on, they're cargo shorts, but to make them fashion, because I will not let Silhouette just have normal white boy cargo shorts. They got to be
Fair.
high-waisted with like a belt that makes the
Ooh.
top hem like floof out a little bit, like peplum out a little
Yeah.
bit. So that's going on. So I'm thinking tan, khaki colored, probably just the pure black, if I'm being honest.
Mhm.
I think if you mix the pure black with the pure black with that like bronzy sort of highlights on those particular pair of roller skates that you got going on, I think that would seal the look together.
Okay, that makes sense. I do still want to be functional because I am... Look, okay, I'm going to be real with you. I'm kind of still expecting a fight. I hate it. I really hate that. I really do. But I just feel like I need to be ready. There's never just a party, you know? So I'm like, oh God, what if I have to fight? Like, do I have to skate through grass again? Like,
Is she wearing the skates?
Well,
Always?
she has her shoes now, they pop out.
Right, I forgot about that. She's got Heelys now.
Yeah. And I think she's still been modifying them. Like every day she adds a little more. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So they just look like shoes now, but just like nice ones, cool ones.
Right. Okay. So if you don't want to have roller skate situation, then do the black with the black boots, and then hold on. And then Haremon runs to their room, rummages through some stuff, and gets some like long, like bronzy jewelry, like a long bronze necklace situation, and then like just to sort of like tie everything together, and
Cool.
break up the black of the top a little bit, and is like, okay, try this. Okay. No, not that one. Yeah, that'll work. And puts it on. What do you think?
Yeah, this feels right. This feels like something that, I can scrap in. Even though, you know what? No, I'm going to put the energy, like I've heard you want to like put the energy into the world that like you want to manifest. So I'm going to put out there that this is just going to be a party. And like the worst thing that could possibly happen is like indigestion.
Yes. Yeah. This will be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And as around that
Yeah.
time, that's
We all
when
come
you
back.
get the knock at the door. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no knock. You just come in.
this
Because
is
it's
your
your
house.
house.
I'm
Yeah.
probably like, hi, we're here.
Yeah, and you hear that downstairs. And
I moved to go to put the unused necklaces away, and I look over at all of like my pictures on my wall and shit of everyone I've ever loved.
Mhm.
And I sort of like stop and think about something for a moment and give a little sigh, and then I hear BB say, hi, we're here, and I'm like, time to go back on, like, okay, whew, time to be a normal, not sad person. And then I walk out.
so everyone fully decked out, meeting down at ground level. You all gather in the living room. Solar Flare waves at you. He's never been in here before, I don't think.
Nope.
And so he looks around and he goes, hey, Hair. So
Hair is a lot, but it's accurate.
sorry, we can workshop that. I'm no knock knock.
No one is knock knock.
Yeah, that's true. And knock knock is everyone,
Mhm.
everywhere, everyone, omnipresent. The brain on that one. Great place. Love it. You guys, do you want to like over towards Silhouette? And she's like, oh yeah, totally.
Why, are we in a rush or something? I still have to get the birds out of the freezer.
Well, no, there's no. I think, I don't even know either. What do you, Solar Flare? You idiot. Solar Flare's like,
Can I read into that?
yeah.
Can I read into
Yeah.
that? I don't think Haremon would let that go.
I'm gonna go get some more stuff from my room, and no one should follow me. And she
I'm
goes
gonna
and
read.
gets stuff
I'm
from her
reading
room.
into it. Haremon's like, what the fuck is going on?
Man, if I don't get thrown through a fucking fence at this party, I'm gonna be so upset.
It's a 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 against okay.
Against Silhouette and BB. We're fighting now.
Gonna do this
We're
with a
fighting with
level
our
of
willpower.
disadvantage. How many was that?
2.
Okay, that's 1. So
Oh, I got 3 out of 2 successes. That's incredible.
to do what?
To oppose
Deception.
for deception.
Oh, okay. So that'll help for sure. Silhouette seems very shifty. Definitely, like she's acting nervous, or like there's something at this party. Like, oh god,
That I don't know.
you
about.
know.
But BB is just I can just pass it off as BB just saying words awkwardly.
Yeah, BB deflects it.
BB comes out with a massive backpack that you haven't seen before,
Mhm.
and there's like the tail of something sticking out. It looks like string, but you can't tell what it is. And she's like, "We should go to the party now and not talk about the fact that I'm holding a bag."
What the fuck is going on?
What?
Silhouette.
Here's what's going on. To keep with tradition of house parties apparently around here, they're going to help me set a fire.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're gonna do.
We're
but
burning
it's gonna
down
be
another
safe.
house to
It's gonna be
keep
so safe.
to keep the
You're gonna burn down Team Tonitrus's house.
yes.
You know what? Fine. Keep your secrets. And I just walk out.
Solar Flare chuckles, and Backtrack has this face of like, what? And he goes, it's a I'll show you later. And then you guys all walk together down as the sun is starting to set. It's about 6 o'clock, almost exactly when you get there. You get to Team Tonitrus's house on that street where, you know, all the bigger houses are. And you get up to the front door and you see that there are balloons around the posts out in front of the house.
Are they
Like, there's,
America flag?
Yeah, they
colors?
are. They totally are. And you get up to the front door and you see that there is like an 8x11 like printout on printer paper picture taped up to the door. And it's a picture of Ivy wearing this big like Abraham Lincoln top hat with a sparkler in his mouth. And all four of his arms are pointing this way.
Oh my god.
Off in the direction of like the path that leads around to the backyard. And there's a speech bubble that's been photoshopped on this image. And the speech bubble says, business in the front, party around back.
Oh my god. I go through the front door though, because I have business, because I have birds for the kitchen.
Okay.
Here, I can take the birds to the kitchen for you. Don't worry about it. And BB grabs the birds from you and starts heading inside.
I look at Backtrack. I look at Riley because I feel like I can I give him that look of like,
What?
What was that? Why is everyone but me acting weird?
I
And
mean,
I
a
guess
lot of the
solar
time
flare.
you're the least weird person in the room. That's pretty.
Which is a change of pace for me already.
Well, look, I mean, if you're nervous, if you think like something is up, then I'm with you. Let's just go around then, right? I mean, you know, if you think that something is up, you know, you'd be like expected to break the rules and like go through the front. So maybe, you know, doing the expected thing is like a double bluff, you know? You know what I mean?
Red,
What?
are you hiding something from me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this what I think it is?
Do you think that it's fun and that I'm extremely charming and will face absolutely no consequences of these actions?
Yes.
Cool. Right this way.
And I follow him.
Jeremy will lean into Solar Flare and be like, "I'm not that weird. I'm a normal person, right? I'm not strange."
Solar Flare goes, yeah, just own it.
King.
And as Backtrack takes your hand and you walk around to the backyard, you step around, and as soon as you sort of crest the corner of the house and you can see what's going on, it is weirdly quiet. Like there's not like music blaring or anything, but when you get around to the backyard, you immediately see all of your friends, everyone, every Nova team member and other team member that you have interacted with or would consider a friend or a friendly acquaintance
Sans
are
Helix.
all here. Sans Helix, yeah. But I don't know if you immediately would be
Damn.
like, scan the crowd, Helix isn't here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but as you get there, you see that there are tables set up. There's a barbecue that is already turned on and starting to be like preliminary, make stuff happen. And you see everyone immediately turns and looks at you. And there's this moment where Ivy steps forward. Ivy, who is wearing a red, white, and blue apron and that same top hat that he was wearing in the picture.
Hot.
God bless.
As he and the rest of Team Tonitrus, except for Helix, and that's when you notice that Helix isn't there. They step aside, revealing a table behind them that is piled up with wrapped up boxes and presents. And you notice that all of the balloons tied around here, they're not all red, white, and blue. While he is decked out, a lot of them are green and a familiar shade of blue to you, to the closest that they could get. And all of them at once say, "Happy birthday, Hermode!"
Surprise!
And the music immediately kicks in. And it's just this, it's like this just like classic sort of reggaeton beat that starts playing.
I hate all of you so much.
Ivy steps up and goes, "Well, too bad, man, because we love you."
Mr. Menagerie and BB come forward, and they're holding like plates of grilled meat. And BB's like, "I went hunting with Mr. Menagerie, which is something that I don't think that I will ever do again. But I made this. We tried to make this meat as close to kind of costati preparation as we could, which we may have missed the mark, but we tried."
Canvas pops his head out from behind you, and you see the familiar face again that you guys haven't interacted with too much, but a little bit, particularly in the beach episode. You surfed with him. This pudgy but broad, tattooed, kind of floppy-haired, friend-faced man. He pops out and he goes, "I was also there. She did a better job than she's sounding like she did."
Oh no, I did a good job. I just don't want to kill animals again. Probably. But yeah, no, we all went together. He was also a great help. It was I'd never been out there before, so it was cool to see.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I just pointed at animals and was like, "That one's a boar, that one's a snake," so it's not like I've saved the world or anything.
And you see BB reach back into her. She takes the backpack off and she opens it up, and you see there's a bunch of fireworks in there, which she starts actually handing to Jeremy, and she's like, "I feel like you'll know what to do with these better than I do." But she gets to the bottom of the bag and she pulls out a wrapped package and she hands it to you.
I take it and I open it.
And Ian, maybe you can help me with this, because I think Silhouette and BB would have collaborated on this, but it's a framed portrait of the three of them in kind of like an action pose, maybe in a giant robot fight that Pantheon maybe took.
Yeah.
But you can see that BB is very, very hastily printed out a police report on Jeremy, or like one of the news reports, and cut out his face and then just taped it in there. But I think that that's the picture itself, but I think the frame
So
maybe
good.
is carved wood that BB has carved herself, but Silhouette has done some kind of tech thing to it, but I don't know what that would be, Ian, so maybe you could help with that.
Carved a tech thing into the...
No. I carved it like a tech... I carved a wooden frame, and then maybe Silhouette added something on top of that.
Oh, interesting. Maybe she put little anti-grav repulsors in it, so that there are times when the picture can actually float on its own instead of being stood up in a different way.
That's
or maybe
cool.
it's got a little magnet thing, so that if you put it on a metal surface, there's a resistance to a maglev train, and there's a little apparatus so that it just kind of hovers without using electricity.
Could there maybe also be a thing where almost like hit Nintendo console, the 3DS, there's kind of a 3D effect that you can see from straight on, where it's almost like it's coming out at you, but then when you turn to the side, it's just a normal photo.
Oh, totally. It just fully holographic, future holographic image. Yeah, that's really, really fun.
Jeremy's face is the only one that doesn't holograph out because it's taped on.
I could have taken a picture for you if you wanted.
That's the Christmas present.
I understand.
Backtrack comes around to face you, and he looks a little bit sheepish, a little bit like nervous. He doesn't look like, yeah, I did it. He looks like, oh God, was this a mistake? And he does say like, was this a mistake?
No. And I think at this point, Haramon sort of like walks over to the speaker and turns it off and is like, thank you for doing this for me. This is the third birthday without my mom, and the second without my dad, and the first away from home. So it means a lot that you guys did this. And I'm not gonna say like thank you to everyone individually because it'll take 5 million years because there's like 60 of us in this fucking program, but thanks for making me feel welcome here. And then click, turns the music back on and walks back to backtrack and takes his hand.
And he sort of like, you know, he smiles and he kisses you on the cheek and sort of walks you around. Different people want to come up and talk to you. I have a list of scripted events and specific gifts and things that I planned out. But before we do that, get to like the gift portion, the present opening portion of the evening, I want to just go through and ask you guys if there's anything specific, any interactions that you do or things that you do at the party before that point.
I mean, Haramon definitely like hugs and kisses BB and Silhouette and Mr. Menagerie and Canvas. Unfortunately for Canvas, he gets a smack on the cheek also.
Bright red individual now.
But I mean, Helix isn't here because he's a fucking loser who's probably getting beat up as we speak. Teatro.
He is here.
I would like to see the Teatro man.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to Teatro. You see that he's actually got his very long hair actually in a ponytail down his back today. A little bit, and you could see his face a little bit more. And you walk up to him and he looks a little bit uncomfortable, but he's hanging out with Wi-Fi. Sort of nearish the what would they be hanging out near? I think they'd be just sort of like leaning up against the wall over by like the drink table. And he's standing there with like a little like cup of ice with some soda in it, and he like sips it every so often, and you see that he's having a good time. And every so often, like people will come and talk to him, and like he'll venture out a little bit. But you know, he seems like somebody who doesn't usually do this kind of thing, but he's doing it. He's doing it. And as you walk up, you do actually notice that Wi-Fi smiles at you, and she nods, and she does sort of walk away for a minute. She does leave.
Interesting. Not, you know, honestly, ideal for me. The hair, it's so good.
I'm thank you. It is back.
How much would it take to allow me to do it one day, to style it one day?
If we ever uncover a groundbreaking truth that improves the lives of everyone in this city, perhaps in celebration, I will allow you to touch.
You know, that's honestly so fair. Which is why I asked, because if someone just straight up wanted to touch my hair, I would punch them in the face.
Yes, that definitely that. I just wanted to say that happy birthday, and I am glad to be your friend, and I appreciate what you do and I am very happy to be here. Despite appearances. And he takes a very long sip of his soda.
And I put a very firm but gentle hand on his shoulder. And I make eye contact with him, which is, I don't think, a thing that we really do. Eye contact is not a necessary requirement when it comes to teatro. And I say, I'm really happy you're here.
Well, there is no series of events that would have led to that not being the case.
Damn.
Yeah.
I pat him on the shoulder and I go do something else.
Hard dip.
Jeremy,
Yeah,
is there
so
anybody that
sweet.
you that you talk to or anything that you do?
Jeremy. Oh, fuck, what does Jeremy do? Jeremy, as much as he would love to like just talk up as many people as possible and socialize, he has a mission. So
Mhm.
I guess at any point of the party, you'll see Jeremy like off in a corner, like hunched over, like a protractor and a calculator in his notebook, and he's just like doing math things. At other points, you'll see him like kind of like jump and like kind of pull himself up to look over nearby yards to see what's clear. He's doing some scoundrel shit. He's just doing his little verminous shit in the corner at this party.
Okay, you definitely do that. And at this point, you have met like a fair number of these people in passing somewhat. People are interested in you. But primarily, what makes your life difficult in your attempts to do this thing on your own that requires concentration is that Monarch is
God.
just on your tail. She is constantly like,
Yeah.
so where did you come from? I mean, like, what? I mean, you just get sort of showed up, right? You like throw a dragon at the wall, and then like you're here, and then everybody's like, "Oh, he's here!" Right? And then, I mean, people thought you were not. I mean, I'm never expected you to just like suddenly show up. I thought it was going to be like a whole manhunt kind of a situation, but there you are. Look at your little coat and such. Like,
He will definitely pause and just be like, first of all, what is Monarch wearing? This is critical information.
Critical information.
We're all
What is
about
Monarch
the
wearing?
fits.
So Monarch, I think, is going for that like vaguely problematic 2000s like cowgirl movie sort of a situation, where she's got like a red plaid shirt that's like tied here with the gingham.
Gingham and plaid are two different things.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's like a button-up, like, shirt situation that but it's tied here, with like a white shirt underneath.
Daisy Dukes?
Yeah, absolutely, with the Daisy Dukes, and she's got like some cowboy boots on, and her hair is like spilling out of like a bright white cowboy hat that she's wearing.
BB, you see how Fidus just keeps looking over at Monarch.
Anna Monarch Tana.
Yeah.
Sick reference.
Thank you.
Sick Hannah Montana reference.
Jeremy will definitely just say, I have a feeling that you can appreciate that it's important to have a strong impression when you make an entrance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, if there's an opportunity to like push a double door open, right, and be like, "Hello, boys," right, like that is absolutely number one choice, right? I mean, that's what you do, right? And babes, you absolutely nailed it. Everybody's talking about your little dragon. I wish I could have seen it.
He will just close his notebook and just turn to her and be like, it has been so long since I have met someone who truly appreciates how to make an entrance and truly appreciates fashion as you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first met, your new team, congratulations, by the way, right? When I met them, I mean, I was like disguised as a sort of like a psychic robot kind of a thing, right? And I was like throwing energy blasts at him. Well, I guess that's not when I met, but it was like the first time we really interacted, right? So, I mean, if you talk about an impression, at least you didn't hurt nobody.
I gotta say, if I could have chosen Flaming Dragon and Robot Psychic Disguise, you're making a good case for the Psychic Disguise one. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would have rather done it as me, but, there was a whole lesson thing. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure that I still understand it. It was a little weird. But, Prestige is going to do what Prestige is going to do. And, it all worked out in the end. They got the jelly beans and we all went home. So,
I gotta say,
no idea what she's talking about.
it makes perfect sense that you're on Prestige's team. Jelly beans. What?
Oh no, right? And she continues to this goes on for some time until finally you reach a point where another figure who is Poltergeist in his trademark blue shirt with the sleeves rolled up and his amethyst hanging from a black cord on his neck, black hair slicked back. He walks up to you and he nods at Monarch and he goes, I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I just thought I would come and introduce myself to you, Jeremy, since we're going to be working together on Monday from what I hear.
Oh, so yeah, I'd heard of that. You're on Cambio's team then?
Yeah. I'm Poltergeist.
Uh-huh.
He goes to...
Jeremy will shake his hand. Jeremy doesn't do those limp handshakes. He does the proper grip his hand and he's like, you're kind of quiet for a noisy spirit.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big party person ordinarily, but I like a good function, especially one for a good cause.
Well, I hope that you stick around because I have a feeling that this party is going to be quite interesting.
I think so. And Monarch goes, right, I'll leave you boys to it then. But all right, we're gonna finish this, right? I want to know absolutely everything there is to know about you. And she steps over and goes to talk to probably Mr. Menagerie. And as she walks away, Poltergeist turns to you and he chuckles a little bit under his breath and he goes, it looked like you might have needed a little bit of privacy. Forgive me if I misread that situation.
As much as I would love to have continued our conversation, I do have at least 10 different trig calculations to get done.
Looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. I'll leave you to it then. And he looks over at Baby Loney, who is currently in the process of scooping out some lemonade into 2 different cups. And she smiles at him and she kind of shakes her head a little bit, does a little dance. And he smiles at her and nods at you and walks over in her direction.
100% see that. Ain't no way.
Cute.
And you are now left to your devices.
He'll get back to it. Fucking math to make things look nice.
Bang Bang, how about you? What you doing?
I think that she's bouncing around between people, trying to get close to Troubleshooter, but not having the nerve to kind of. I think she is trying to just interact with a lot of different people and try to just do that, 'cause it's not something she does, and try to really get to know other people. But I think she does kind of have home base with both Jeremy and Teatro, and keeps kind of like, when things are too much, just kind of goes back there and chills, then goes back out.
Makes
But I
sense.
think she does eventually make her way over to Troubleshooter.
Okay. Troubleshooter is wearing like ripped jeans and sneakers and a white shirt and her same hat that she always wears. And she, of course, has like a can of beer in her hand, that good old future sci-fi space beer.
That good future PBR.
You know, that good future beer. And she is fully just like, where would she be? What would she be
With
doing?
Echo.
I think, she would be. She would be hanging out with Echo. And I think this is the first time that you really see them together.
Yeah. I walk up to them, and I have a beer in my hand, but it's not opened, and she's not moving to open it. She's just holding it. And she's like, did you see, hey, did you see what Monarch's wearing? It's cool. You're dressed cool too.
Fuck.
Well,
Listen, we love awkward flirting.
I mean, this is a very interesting, kind of strange holiday for me. It's not really, I don't know. I never really understood the whole, like, firework part of it or really any of that. And I haven't been super privy to how exactly that manifests in a place like this. It's a little bit different back home because we got our own lens through which we view these kinds of things. So, but, you know, I never say no to a grilled meat and a beer, so here I am, so to speak. And she looks over at Monarch, who is just dancing. Dancing her vaguely drunk white girl heart out. And
Marco wasted.
Hey.
and she goes, yeah, Troubleshooter goes, "Yeah, well, I would complain about the lack of subtext, but hell, I don't mind the view."
Just a really long and awkward laugh. Hi, I'm BB. Are you Echo?
You're introducing yourself to Echo?
Have we met?
Yeah, Echo is
When?
one of your like friends. She's one of the three she's hanging out with Porter and Link.
Fuck. Oh God, Echo. We just haven't talked about Echo in so long.
We haven't talked about Echo in a long time. And yeah,
God, and they're like our core friends too.
Yeah.
I need to go hang out with Porter.
we
Porter's
haven't
the
seen.
homie.
To
We
be fair, we
them.
haven't
Yeah.
seen them a lot this season because we focused so much on them last season. I'm trying to get some more new faces. But yeah, she is here.
Never
and-
mind. I say, hey, hey, Echo.
Hey, and you see she's just sort of watching this unfold. Like she
Thoroughly
knows.
amused.
Yeah, she is thoroughly amused by what's happening, and you know, she's got her sort of blonde and green ombre hair spilling
She's
out of
so
her
hot.
usual
I
beanie
forgot. Yeah.
with her like big tie-dye shirt with the collar all cut so that it hangs like this around her collarbone, just full of bracelets. And she goes, you having fun?
Yeah. I mean, this is only the second party I've ever been to, and so far it's a really substantial improvement over the first, because nothing
totally.
is burning down yet.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Got you. Yes, sir.
Camera pans over to Jeremy doing trick
Yep.
calculations on the corner. Pans back. Yeah. So no, it's good, and you know, we have our new teammate, so it's fun to kind of get to introduce him to people. Yeah. How are you guys doing? How are you enjoying the party? How are your teams?
Teams are good. And she looks over at Porter, who is also dancing,
Mhm.
like vaguely near Monarch, but he's just like,
Link isn't here, right? Because
Yeah.
he's at home probably.
Yeah, Link is at home on the weekend, so
yeah.
Link is not here for. Well, actually, no, for a birthday party.
Maybe he has a time that he has to leave early.
Yeah, yeah. Link is here for a while and then
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
home. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense because this is Haramon's birthday. Link is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be here.
Yeah.
And it's a little more tame. Like it's not like woo shenanigan debauchery party, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, they're here. But Echo goes, no, things are good. I mean, we'll probably get a chance to catch up a little bit soon, but and she gives you this very obvious look of like you see like do behind her eyes. You see evil in her eyes as she goes, I think Porter is dying out there. Maybe I'll just leave you two to it. And she deliberately walks over to the dance floor and just put thumbs in pockets and just like,
I don't know what she meant by to it, but how are you doing?
can't complain. I mean, things are getting a little interesting. I see the flies are gathering to the honey that is new blood in the mix, but I could care less, honestly.
So dramatic.
He seems fine.
Oh, Jeremy's really cool. Like I have been in a program with Jeremy before this. We didn't interact, but he just always seemed like pretty strong. And now that we're here, he's nice. He tries really hard to, I don't know. Seems like he just tries really hard to be here and to like fit in. I don't know. I respect him for that. He's diving in.
Cut to Jeremy crab walking with his notebook.
Well, if everybody wants to trust a new face in this climate, that's their prerogative. I ain't so quick to She opens a second beer, crushes the first one. I ain't so quick to well,
BB opens her beer and goes, "Oh yeah, I get that. I really get it. It's hard to trust new people, but maybe you can trust me, and I trust him, and you've known me for a little while now, so like there can be a kind of chain of trust."
So what's with your voice?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mom, help, I'm scared.
I'm I'm so lost in BB's awkwardness that I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that happened, and I kind of associate that voice with being a hero. That's how a lot of the heroes that I grew up admiring spoke in all the movies I watched with my dad. So it's kind of like my hero voice, but I don't feel like a hero right now. So I'm just kind of using my normal BB voice. Yeah.
And
Are
you
you
see
gonna-
that she does like actually crack a smile.
You gonna like razz me about that or something?
Nah, it's a shame. I was starting to get used to it.
Oh well, it'll come back. Like eventually, probably. Maybe like if we hung out more, maybe I'd just start like picking up your accent again, and then it'd be like I was using that accent.
I think you're gonna want to be careful what kind of things you pick up from me. Might be your idea and my idea of what a hero is, or well, we'll have to find out if those are two very different things.
I don't know if my heroes drink beer.
Well, then you definitely have some more training to do. But in the meantime,
Do you want to ever train together or something?
well, I understand we're scheduled to at some point.
But I mean, we have our own personal schedules as well as class schedules, and if you ever want to train or hang out or talk more, I'm around. And we're moving on to the street now that Jeremy's with us, so we're going to be on the row of mansions. So just swing by. I'll keep a beer in the fridge. And if you ever want it, it'll be there.
Tell you what, you want to get to know me, we ain't doing it in academic forums. Nah, that ain't the kind of moonlight that I do my best work under. If you want me to teach you something, then well, keep a lookout. I'll come find you and we'll bark at the real moon. See what kind of hero you really are.
That's very exciting, but also, yeah, no, it's just very exciting.
You city folks, so uptight. Try to have a little fun you're not getting graded on once in a while.
Okay. And she'll just kind of she'll slam back the beer.
Mhm.
And then crush it in her hand. And maybe she actually kind of throws it up and shoots it with an sonic blast, so it just kind of flies away into the night.
Amazing.
I'm probably not going to do that again, but maybe it's time to try other drinks. Do you have any recommendations? And maybe we make our way over to the drink table, and I kind of
let's get you a nice pop. All right. And she very what's the word I'm looking for? Condescendingly pats you on the back as you go over to the drink table. But this is the most sort of loose you've seen her interact with you. Truly. For sure. Yeah. And as we transition from that moment, the night progresses a little bit more, and we reach the point in the evening where Ivy announces that we're going to sort of exchange gifts and start giving Haramone their presents.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's 60 people here all trained on me.
Yeah, and I'm not going to role play all of it. And not everybody
do it.
Brought
coward.
A lot of it was food that they brought to the party or kind of a potluck scenario. It's really only your friends here that have that. And there are a couple that I have scripted that I'm just going to go through really quickly that are important.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we'll do your guys' ones as well if you want to do that. You already did yours. So
that was it. Yeah. Unless Jeremy has something, but
I mean, we know what Jeremy's doing.
Yeah, mine comes later.
That comes later. Yeah.
I don't have money, Haramone, so I didn't get you a physical gift.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's okay. I don't believe in money. So, do you want some of my money?
I think I negotiated the school to giving me money so I can just proudly spend theirs.
That's honestly, I respect it.
Mm-hmm. So the first one that is notable to you is that Knock Knock gives you something, and it's in a big paper bag with cartoon drawings all over it that you can tell that she did herself. And you take it out of the bag and you see that it is a printed T-shirt.
Oh my God.
In your size.
Oh my God.
That has a actually very well done sort of caricature drawing of Scooby-Doo on it. And it has her signature on it.
Wow.
And there is a card on the inside. And the card says, "To Hairpun from Nim, N-I-M."
Nim? The secrets of? Nah.
And she goes, "I drew it myself, and Poltergeist helped take me to a place to print it, to get it printed from a shirt place that prints shirts." Yeah. So I figure it'll make you a better detective. Not that you're a bad detective, but if you wear this in front of Tonatrus, you'll be cooler than him.
You know what I can be? Because Tonatrus isn't here right now. Cooler than all of you. And Haramone just takes off her shirt to her bra and puts it on in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Like it isn't anything.
That's fair. Oh man, you do hear Monarch go like
Whistle.
Monarch does a whistle. Yeah.
What's new, Scooby-Doo?
So now you're wearing a Scooby-Doo shirt.
Yay!
And when you look at the card too, Knock Knock goes, also, you can call me that now if you want to.
Okay.
Not here though.
No,
Somebody
I
might hear.
understand. Yep. Thank you very much. I adore you with everything I have.
She just sort of like, and it's a little bit too tight. It's a little
Like
bit
her
like
hug is too
she's
tight?
trying to crush you, and she does a little goblin laugh while she does it.
She's like, okay, yeah. This is the bad rib. You squeeze the bad rib. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You didn't know.
Poltergeist wouldn't let me call myself French fries, and she scurries away.
Oh god. I think after this gift exchange, Harriman goes up to Poltergeist and is like, why didn't you let her call herself French fries? That's an incredible name. What are you talking about?
Well, think of it this way. Headline news at 7 p.m. live as the city was saved by French fries.
That's incredible. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever was I thinking?
Back to the present moment.
Another important one, you get a gift from Ivy that is not even wrapped because it's too big.
Oh shit.
And he rolls out, as he goes, da, 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 he rolls out a portable barbecue for your house so that you have one. And it's a lot like his. It's a little smaller because his is like practically a barbecue, like mixed DJ station. It's so big.
Get that Weber going.
But it's a sizable one. It looks really nice. And you just put a little bow on it. So now your Team Pantheon house has a barbecue.
Yes.
Yep. And then Wi-Fi and Silhouette approach you together, and Teatro, all three of them actually, and they give you a little box, but they also give one to each member of your team, including Jeremy. And Silhouette goes, we've been working on this for a little while. We scrambled so that we could get one for Jeremy too. Once we knew, we'd made like 3 of them already, so we could keep doing it. But so this is really cool. And you open it up and you see what looks like this tiny little microchip, almost like an SD card that looks like it should fit in your phone. And Wi-Fi goes, this is a chip that has a program in it. It'll load directly into your phone, all 3 of you. 4 of you actually, and essentially it will install a program into your phone that you can turn on and off at will, and when it's active your phone is nigh unhackable, even by me.
That is very useful considering how many times we got hacked recently.
Yeah, consider it sort of a retroactive apology for our first introduction. Necessary as it might have been, I understand that wasn't the greatest expression of boundaries. So, and Silhouette, you can attest to this, and Silhouette nods, and she goes, yeah, I mean, we built it the whole time. We tested it against her power, and it's, it works, rock solid.
Thank you, guys.
Just as me, this is Ben speaking as the person. I actually do have an SD card somewhere around here, but I can't find it. So my usual magic gimmickry isn't gonna work. Of just summoning items to my will.
God, do I have an SD card? I don't think I do.
It's right here. All right.
Cool. And then another important one that I'll actually roleplay a little bit more is that Backtrack approaches you kind of sheepishly with a very little box.
Here
And he hands it
comes
to
the
you.
boy.
This is rather fast and forward.
He like looks distant for a second. Oh, and he actually like takes a half step back, and then he catches himself and like plants his feet. No, that's funny. That's it's funny. No, this is just, I mean, you know, you when I was down, quite literally down, you, shall we say, charmed me. And, you know, I've noticed the closer that we've gotten to your birthday, you seemed kind of sad. And while I can't pretend that I fully understand all of it to the best of my ability, I think I do, kind of. And so I thought, you know, while you're down, I should return the favor. Do you open it? You open it, and inside is a very simple sort of a gem, basically. It is a bright green emerald, kind of cylindrical, very well cut, like jeweler cut. And there is a little like apparatus, like on the like fixed, sort of screwed on to the top, fitted to it, with a loop in it. And there is just a simple black sort of elastic bracelet, and there's also a necklace version of it in case you wanted to do it in a different way. It's definitely it's just a small emerald with some chances of accessorizing. And he looks at it and back at you, and he goes, "So I totally understand. Like, there's no like pressure to like actually wear it or anything. I just thought this is something I've had for a while, came through my family, and it doesn't actually really mean anything to me. It doesn't have a purpose with me, and I've always that, you know, it doesn't really sit right with me because this is it's old. I mean, this is an emerald back on Earth. It's hundreds of years old. This is it's from where was it from? Brazil, originally.
It's from Elon Musk's Emerald Mine.
Ooh.
Riley's descended from Elon Musk. No
He
way.
goes, you know, it hasn't been like handed down through my family or anything. It was acquired by someone that I don't really. I'm not going to get into it, but it doesn't hold any meaning for me. And something with so much history, you know, something all the way back there, it should be with somebody who actually, you know, cares about that. And there's this weird like moment of something as he kind of goes somewhere for a second. And he comes back and he catches it, and he squares up a little bit, and he puts on this big smile as if nothing had even happened. He goes, you know, plus, you know, you're in the dark, it'll remind you of my eyes. We all need that from time to time.
Aww.
I give him a hug, and in his ear I say, we can talk about it later at any point.
Oh no, don't even. Hey, it's water under a very old bridge that I don't even need to cross anymore. Don't worry about it. Thank you, I appreciate it, but we don't have to go there.
I try to give him a look that communicates that I saw what happened there, though, but I don't say anything. And then I grab his face and I give him a smooch in front of everyone, which is, I think, the first time they've actually there's any PDA at all with them ever.
They're Moonlight official now.
In front of people.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And there's something there when you do that, where that cockiness, that energy, most of the time it doesn't feel forced, and it did for a second. When you do that, he relaxes slightly, but something is still sort of tense in the back of his mind. And you have to really try not to still think about it, because it's there now. Something is in the air there
that he doesn't want to talk about.
Yeah.
yeah. After
And you felt it for a while, but this is the
Mhm.
closest you've ever had to actually hearing something about it.
yeah. After I do kiss, Karina wants to know what if Snapshot reacts to that, doing the kiss on him.
Make a perception check. We haven't rolled any dice this episode, really much.
Yeah, this is a game where we roll dice. We should do that.
Oh, we will.
Where we roll dice.
We still got more episode in this episode.
Yeah, that's a full
Oh,
success.
yeah.
Full success.
Full success. Okay. Yeah, your eyes, you do find her, and she doesn't seem to really like flinch. Like she knew already about that, you know?
Yes.
She doesn't seem to react to it.
Yeah, and it's very much in a like, I don't know how many people know my sexuality. So anyone that like I could potentially be interested in, I'm gonna be always looking out for that, based on whatever.
Yeah.
I imagine Monarch would whistle again when they kiss. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, just shut up."
And sometime later, after you have a cake,
It's carrot.
Ooh.
It's 100%.
Is that the favorite?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's just what it feels right to me.
Feels right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So that happens, and sometime during that, while everybody is just sort of scattered in their little pods, with their besties, having their cake time, getting ready, getting closer and closer to that midnight mark, Ivy comes up to you again.
Yes.
And he's done cooking, so the apron is off, and he's just wearing his clothes now. And he is holding something, and it looks like kind of a wide, flat box, like this, big. And it's in very meticulous white wrapping, but there's black ribbon that has tied it and sealed it, but those ribbons are crisscrossed like a DNA helix.
My man's got the eye. He got the eye.
And as Ivy holds this out in front of you, he like hands it to you, towards you, and he goes, Helix, he felt real bad that he couldn't be here. I hope you don't take that personally. He's hell, I really thought he was going to come, but it's not important. He's got stuff to do, and he's a busy dude. So, but he asked me to give you this. He said you might want to open it like later at home, though. He said you might want to do that.
All right. This would be so much easier if I just had his number. That's not me actively asking it from you, but I'm just thinking about like what I want to say to him in this moment and how I shouldn't ask you to convey that message, because that's like emotional work that I'm not going to put on you. But like, I also never know when to pin him down. Like, he's so hard to pin down. I'll figure it out. But
all fair and valid. But I mean, I will just say, try. I'm not going to tell you how to feel or how to approach trying to be his friend. I can only tell you that he is important to me, and while it may not seem like it to other people who don't know him as well, he cares very deeply for. Honestly, I think he cares very deeply for everyone. He's just got his own way of showing it that most people don't really take the time or have the ability to understand. And I mean, forgive me if this is a little presumptuous, but I don't think you're one of those people. I think he likes you guys. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just the cook.
I take the present and I like turn it around so that the helix side is out. Like this. I hold it like this, as opposed to like holding it like this and putting it over my heart. I hold it like this, and I put my left hand on Ivy's heart, and I say, "Thank you for being my friend and for being his friend." And just being a friend. The one thing I will ask of you is the next time you see him, to tell his ass that we do got something to talk about, and he knows what it is.
Oh. Okay.
It's not anything bad. It's just again,
Yeah, sure.
the not being able to pin him down thing is like it's difficult. So if you could just convey that intention of I need to see you at some point.
I can do that. Yeah, I
but-
can do that.
Yeah. Do you need help in the kitchen or anything?
No, it's time. And he hears a timer on his phone go off, and he looks at it. He goes, "Guys, all right, 60 seconds. 60 seconds on the clock." And you reach that point where it is almost midnight. Time has flown in this truly relaxing and fun night. As everybody gathers around, you see everyone in Team Tonitrus specifically, they all have these like party bags, and they open them up and they start pulling out these orb-like devices that you've actually seen the likes of before. And as you look at them, you realize these are not unlike the flare that Pantheon gave you back in Amberley. These are, and if you've like kind of grew up in the city here, these have been standard for quite some time. And as they get down to that sort of 3, 2, 1, and then like the music starts blaring, but not like super loud. They all in unison, they begin to crush these things. They have like an outer sort of Tide Pod shell. If you remember, there is a barrier in the middle, and on one side there's sort of a swirling gas that has a sort of neutral color, and on the other side it's a liquid. And when they're crushed in the hand, there's a chemical reaction, and you see it start to smoke different colors, and they all have different colored ones. And they throw them in the air, like as hard as they can, sort of up high above you. And you know, these are strong people. This is the martial arts class, so they throw pretty hard. And lighting up the sky around you are completely silent, smoky sort of light shows that swirl together and make different patterns of light in the sky. And this is my way of saying, in the future, fuck loud fireworks in urban areas and suburban areas. We have solved this problem in the future.
All my homies hate loud fireworks.
And all the smoke and everything is biodegradable and 100% healthy for the environment.
Yep.
Yes.
Organic,
silent, dope as fuck
chemical reaction balls.
Yes.
And it is truly breathtaking. They make these amazing patterns that move together. Some of them are actually a little more high tech, and they have like little, almost like little bots in them. So when they're crushed and the chemical reaction starts, the smoke will get fanned out in different ways and play against the light differently and swirl and make patterns. It's really quite breathtaking to behold. And it's at that moment when that starts to die down that anyone who knows what's coming next, which I think is probably just BB and like maybe Silhouette, look over to Jeremy.
We didn't warn anyone. We were just like, Jeremy, go.
He will stand up, and then all of a sudden, from like the yards, like next to like the house, and then one more like behind the house, behind the fence, he will say, "I'd like to welcome you all to my fireworks display." And he'll lift his arms up, and like 3 massive, bright, like firework shapes, like it's got that cartoony firework shapes, will rocket up into the sky, and it'll and then they'll like coil together in 3, and then they'll just keep flying and flying, and he'll say, to the celebration under familiar stars. And when he does that, they'll split off, and then they'll explode into this massive sparkler display that fills up the entire sky.
Mhm.
And as you and they'll like all fall and kind of start to dim out, and just as soon as you like think that that's it, it's just one big explosion, all of a sudden they'll just kind of stop, and then they'll slightly get brighter into this soft glow. And I think only those that have like really spent their time like looking at the stars will realize kind of what it's supposed to mimic. But then as they glow, you see that small, or not small, but orange lines will connect them, and then you'll see the outlines of 3 constellations. And Haramone, if you want to describe which ones what we're looking at, kind of like the whole.
I think we see, I mean, Orion, because he fucks. He's one of the best constellations, in my opinion.
I mean, like
Oh,
from like Paragon.
oh, from Paragon. I thought you were
Yeah.
making constellations from Earth.
No, that's why this is the celebration under familiar stars.
Okay, so I think the one that I pointed out to the gang last volume that sort of represents like protection. I think there's definitely that one. I think there's one that looks almost like Cygnus but isn't. And I think that one sort of represents like the beauty of like, there's no like one word, but like the beauty of when things fall into line, that feeling when things fall into line and go smoothly, almost the beauty of efficiency. I think that's when that represents, at least for me. And then I think there's one that looks sort of like a star, a drawing of a star, but like there's one leg that's really long. And I think that one sort of, at least for me and my people, signifies sort of like the importance of everyone's individual like unique qualities.
And once you see like the like rough shapes of like the constellations, it'll suddenly appear, and like a more detailed outline will appear around them. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen like ancient Greek pottery, that kind of art style. And they'll start to move, and like the one that like represents like efficiency will kind of like stack itself and like be nice and straight, and then the protection will be like a shield or something. And once they've kind of like moved for a bit, they'll kind of burst, and then softly a bunch of flowers, Haramone's favorite flower, will fall and kind of like descend and kind of hover off the ground and off the trees, hover on top of, if they have a pool, like the pool area, and just kind of light up the yard, because he made sure that all the lights were off. And that's kind of the whole lighting that we're dealing with. And Jeremy will say, happy birthday, Haramone. Thanks for welcoming me right away. And you can blame Samurai Jack over there for helping me out with this, and he'll point at Backtrack.
Wow.
As this happens, there is a moment of stunned silence as everyone watches this. And for a little context and subtext, not only is this just remarkably beautiful, but there's an air of mystery still. I mean, everyone is super interested in Jeremy, but there's still that hanging sort of idea of what he represents and what is still to come that everyone is on edge about. And then in this moment of just absolute beauty falling around you, this understanding of how incredibly powerful this man is, who just appeared in all of our lives.
Huge flex.
All of that
Massive.
falls away. And the entire party loses their minds and erupts into cheers and applause. Solar Flare in particular is just like, yeah, with his like enormous hand. He
Hell
does
yeah.
that clap where it's like a little hollow, so it just reverberates through the entire party.
BB
I
comes
hope-
up and like slaps Jeremy on the back.
I hope I got those constellations correct. I swear I was up till like 3 a.m. trying to research them.
You did.
Silhouette just crying.
Yeah, and both of us was crying. I think what happened was QuickTime threw her firework and was immediately like scooped up and spun around Princess Carrie style and like smooched on the face by Haramon, and then that started happening, and Haramon was like just like slowly let QuickTime down and was like, whoa.
And I think that's the image I want to fade out of this party on, as you guys watch this incredible light show, enjoying this moment together, realizing that no matter what happens, this group of people and this even smaller core group of people, you can carve out a piece of it for yourselves and you can belong here. And as we fade out of this moment of you watching this, the party sort of dwindles on after that. It's a Sunday. There's training the next day still. It's not like a national holiday, really. So people don't stay too much later. And over time, you all sort of say your goodbyes and your thank yous, gather up all of your stuff that
my
you have
shit.
now,
Yeah.
and make your way back home to your house. And I will ask, when you get home, what are the circumstances under which you open Helix's gift?
I mean, it's my gift. It's my gift. I mean, I don't hide it. I don't hide the gift, but like I show them that he got me a gift and how fucking immaculate this wrapping is. Like, he has a really great eye for like decoration and like, wow.
Yeah, assuming he did it himself, there is a very surprising delicateness to it.
But I do open it in my room by myself.
Okay. As you open it, the light in your room catches it in such a way where at first there's just this beautiful gradient rainbow pattern that you see. It's almost metallic. And as you sort of focus in on that and this thing that you were not really expecting, you see the outline of it, the shape of what this actually is. And it is a large, flat object. It's maybe the size of like your palm without your fingers, maybe a little bit bigger. It's shaped roughly like a huge guitar pick, sort of. But as you touch it, you know immediately this texture. And it feels vaguely metallic, but there's a sort of hide-like roughness to it as you rub it the opposite direction of the point of it. As you hold it in your hands and you look at it and the way that it catches the light with the color, you like flex it a little bit and it's sturdy. It only bends really at the tips. You know immediately that this is a scale. Not only is this a scale, to the best of your knowledge, this must be a Titan scale. But you've not seen one like this. The size and the color of it, while the general feeling of it and the look of it are familiar to you enough to know that that's what it is, whatever particular breed this is not something you've seen or grown up with. And you look and you see that there is a note underneath it. Not really a card, more of an actual note left in the box underneath. And it reads, "In case you ever need a reminder, the way forward is what we left behind. H."
Crying, crying, crying. Oh boy. I think Haramon puts it. There's like a little the pictures on the nightstand are sort of in a little semicircle sort of thing. And there's like a little tea light in the space of the semicircle, and Haramon puts the picture that was gifted to them by her team, in the mix, and then puts the scale down in that space where the tea light is, and then puts the tea light on top of the scale, and then lights the tea light and goes to bed.
And as the lights of House Pantheon just sort of flick out one at a time, you find yourselves asleep. Somewhere across the way, back where you came from, back into this now quiet night, back to a house with balloons still adorning it out in the front, as Ivy takes down the picture in front of the door, smiles, having finished sort of cleaning up outside, closes the door. Our image sort of spins around to the back of the house, to a dark-clad figure climbing up ever so quietly up to his window, where he opens it, very deftly, perfectly silently slides his way inside, takes a look out into the moonlight, and closes the window. And on that, we will cut to black and fade in on our next day.
I really hope that I didn't nearly kill Helix with a firework display.
Oh, fuck. I wasn't expecting that.
No.
That'd been incredible.
No. This was way later. What I just
okay.
described was like much. This was, after you got home. We pick up the next morning. You know that you are meant to meet Team Cambio and Pantheon herself in a place.
No Cambio though.
No, Cambio will be there. You assume that Cambio will be there. You don't know what it is that you're doing. You just know who you're doing it with.
Just the way you said that was funny, because you said Team Cambio and Pantheon. So it made it sound like just the students and Pantheon. Anyways.
So you know that you are meant to meet in a place that is known to students of the hero track as the battlefield, but it's battle space field. It's the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And when people say it, they usually say the battlefield, not the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to the battlefield and you arrive, and it is similar to the big auditorium stadium that you have had all your assemblies in, but this one is not meant just for student assemblies. What you guys do know, even Jeremy would know from like just basic hero lore and knowledge, is this is the place where when the televised games to introduce the new first year hero students who have just gotten their preliminary licenses, when that happens, which is coming up, by the way, at some point next term, this is where a lot of that happens. This is where the main event happens. And it is a huge place. From the outside, you do see this massive stadium with towers. You can even see like little glints of those jumbo screens inside. But from the outside, you can just see the tallness, the immense tallness and width of this place. And there's no domed top like the other one. This is just a big open football field environment. And as you arrive, there are several entry points into this place. I mean, it is designed to have these big sporting events and house spectators. So much like any stadium that we would be familiar with in the real world, this place has many entrances and exits that you can take. And I would even go so far as to say that one of the towers that like flanks the entire area actually does have a small rail station. So you can actually get brought directly here from like the city proper if you make your way through that checkpoint,
Nice.
like into the school.
Cool.
Yeah. So you know that this is a pretty cool place that you have yet to, have like done anything at. You've seen it around, but you haven't had the opportunity to train here yet. So there's sort of an excitement there, and Silhouette is feeling it. And as you get there, you see Pantheon out front, and she floats down to you guys. But she is not in her hero outfit today. I think she's wearing like her gray hoodie and like track pants and stuff. And she floats down to you and she goes, "Glad you could make it. Welcome to the battlefield."
Costume at the cleaners.
"No, I just don't need it today."
Ooh, semi-ominous response.
Either you're going to be playing a villain or you're going to be playing someone that needs to be rescued. That's my theory.
Or some kind of mix of the two where we think you need to be rescued and then you turn out to be a villain.
That's a good one, BB.
These are all really fun theories. I hate to tell you that you're wrong. Anyway, Cambio's team is waiting for us inside if you want to head in, and he'll give you the rundown of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Let's do
Real
it.
quick, Cambio, what can he and his team do? And he'll say that to BB, Silhouette, and Haramone as they walk in.
Cambio is a shapeshifter and power mimicker. Knock Knock can leave her body and astral project and essentially possess people and puppet them around. Poltergeist is telekinetic and partly telepathic, and Canvas can manipulate the tattooed ink on his body into shapes and friends.
Oh, cool. Thank
Just
you.
normal, straightforward stuff, obviously.
That was really good, you guys. Yes. Correct.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting day.
I hope so. And you step through, through the, actually not through one of the entrances that like spectators would go through, but you actually go through the back sort of lobby way where, through like where there's lockers and like waiting rooms, you go through these hallways and come through the field as if you were like
competing,
and as you step out, you see the immensity of it, and you can actually see in your mind, you can imagine just a roaring crowd and faces and the immensity of it. You can see the sky above you and the sunlight of the morning, but I mean, this is a tall stadium that goes and goes and goes. And BB at the bare minimum has certainly watched on television like events that have taken place here, and heroes.
Absolutely. She's stoked to be here.
Heroes who are now out in the world with having made a name for themselves were first debuted here in this place where you're now standing. And you actually hear behind you, and you look over and you see Silhouette cupping her hands and making those crowd sounds. And she's like,
Jeremy
Right?
will create like fire figures in the stands, and they'll like hold up signs. It's like, "I love you, Jeremy. Silhouette, you're my favorite."
That's really good. That's funny.
and you step out and you see this very long, short green grassy football field environment. Right now it looks like it's in its base setting, but you know from having seen events here that each individual segment of this ground can like fall down into an area below or rise up for different obstacles, different things that are waiting, whether it's like training elements or terrain elements. In the very center, an entire ring rises up from the ground. If like the ground can come down and that can switch out and rise up.
Hell yeah.
And at the moment, none of that is present. What you do see are all around the entrances, like every individual entrance down here on this level has two sort of robot sentinels that are currently off. There's no lights on them glinting or anything. They're just standing with these long, like spear-like objects, and they look like the training robots that you've been fighting this whole time, the standard ones, not the huge ones. And they're you know, meant to look like statues, but you know, they're like protective, sort of step in if something goes wrong elements here, and they're spaced out in front of every or flanking every entrance and exit. And you see standing roughly in the center of this field is Poltergeist, Knock Knock, and Canvas, all dressed in sort of like workout attire. And they turn to look at you, and Knock Knock waves, and she goes, "Oh, hi guys, this is Cambio. These are my friends."
Oh my god.
And
Hi, Cambio. Hi, who's there?
and you see him, a figure you've seen before but have not yet interacted with. A man who is actually not quite as tall as like other heroes, like you know, Tonatrus, for example. He is under 6 foot. He's like 5'8" or so. But his outfit itself is somewhat imposing and yet bright and colorful, with red flames licking up his arms and legs, with white elements as well, his boots and gloves, with a black hood that comes up over his head and a diamond-shaped cape that flares out. He has a red triangle inside of a circle emblem on his chest. He's all like red, white, black, and green. And you know, Jeremy, with your history knowledge, you know that this is a symbol that represents change, which makes sense because Haramon, you know that Cambio, that's roughly what that means, you know. And most importantly, what stands out is his full-on like leather luchador mask that he wears, with the outline of a bird in flight adorned across his face. He turns to Knock Knock and he smiles and he goes, "Thank you, Knock Knock. That is a very kind introduction." And he steps out amongst you, very delicate steps that he takes and deliberate, with his arms crossed and finger sort of tapping on his bicep as he speaks. He goes, "I have hoped to meet you for some time. I have wanted to congratulate you on your progress so far. And I am very excited now to have an opportunity to see you and my own team performing a little exercise together. Are you feeling, have you stretched? Are you prepared to the best of your ability?"
I've been stretching all morning since I woke up. I'm ready.
In Spanish,
In Spanish.
which is not something we
Ooh.
have discussed yet.
Mhm.
Haramon will just say, "Honestly, I'm very excited."
And he will respond in Spanish as well. Ooh, I kind of want to actually use Spanish, but I have to dig deep into my brain to make sure I still remember. Maybe not. Maybe I won't. I'll think of something later. But he will respond in Spanish for sure. He goes, "Your excitement is appreciated." And then he turns to everyone and back to his team, and he goes, "Well, I have been hearing from Pantheon that she has enjoyed a certain exercise with you. You've been very focused in recent weeks on
Big
what did you call
robot.
it? Big robot.
Yeah.
I think this is a very interesting idea. My team, up until this point, combat has not been our primary focus. I understand that my team, we have a unique sort of skill set where I have largely focused on thinking outside of the box, so to speak, using their unique abilities to their advantage to gain
advantages over people who are more straightforward combatants. And yet, I find that they have not yet had enough experience in a straightforward fight. And I think it is about time that we remedy this. Since you all have been so keen on this particular exercise, I thought it would be prudent to put my own spin on it.
Are you gonna turn into something and we're gonna fight you?
No, I do not mean to sound cocky, but I do not think you are ready to face that challenge quite yet.
And he reaches up and he sort of scratches at his jaw. He goes,
Well, I do not want to give away too much because I believe that as you begin to pursue the goal of today's exercise, the purpose of these particular modifications that I have made will become clear to you.
he smiles at Pantheon and he gestures this way to her, nods. And she reaches into a pocket for a small remote little controller that she has. And she types something in and Cambio says, everyone please take a few steps back. More than a few.
So?
And you
Keep
all kind of
going.
walk back. And you see Canvas. He looks a little bit nervous. He's excited to see you guys again, but he's like kind of keeping quiet, sticking to the back. Poltergeist very naturally takes a place. You see they both, Knock Knock and Canvas, very automatically square up in like a triangle up, really, behind him.
Ayo, parallelogram up, boys.
And as you back up, you see that the tower, and then there is a tower, rises up at the center. Again, some of you have seen this before on television, but seeing it in person is something different. A 20-foot metal tower rises up from the ground in the center. And you see that there are very small like footholds and handholds, almost like a climbing wall, that are carved up along two sides of it on either end. And Cambio watches this happen, and when it reaches its apex, it's about 20 feet tall at its highest point. It's this big pillar that emerges. He reaches into, he doesn't have any pockets, but I think maybe in like the folds of his cloak, he'll pull out what looks like a small card, almost like a business card in a way. But you can't see what's on it yet in the way that he's holding it. He's holding it like facing away from you. And he goes, on this card is the address of our next meeting place after this exercise concludes. Should you succeed, I would ask you to meet me there later on tonight. But first, you must retrieve it. And you see he flies up, his cloak kind of blowing out behind him, and he places the card at the top. And when he takes his hand away, you see that it actually floats on its own. And then a small flickering field begins to generate. A little orb of crackling iridescent light forms around it, keeping this card suspended and just slowly turning in the center. And you see from the very top, right under that, little terminals emerge from inside the pillar, and you see that there are screens. But you can't really make out what's on them. But actually just one little terminal with a screen comes out in front of you. And he goes, the goal is simple. One of you, at least, must retrieve this card. If one of you succeeds, perhaps all of you do. And you will know where to meet us later. That is all I will leave you with now. Though, of course, as with all things in this life, it is not so simple. And as he begins to fly up toward the stands to take a seat, he looks at Pantheon with a smile, and she hits something on the remote again, and the ground beneath your feet begins to rumble and like fall away. And you all need to like take a step back.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
And as you do so, that area of ground, it caves, it doesn't cave in, but it like an elevator going down. And then after a few moments, Poltergeist goes, maybe everybody form up. I have a sneaking suspicion about what's coming. And as you all take whatever positions you're going to take, rising up first, you see the head. A familiar, round, sort of domed head. But this one is a little bit different. Massive as it is, instead of one solid screen face, there is an entire circular ring of screen that goes all the way around it, and you see it's constantly turning, and there's a red sort of sensor light that goes 360 all the way around its head. Next, you see the shoulders emerge, and they're a little bit different. Yes, they are wide. This is absolutely big robot, but not like one you faced before. The shoulders are plated, and as the chest rises up as well, you see that there is an armor that's almost rubber-like in a way. The plates are separated in certain regards, but it is very much something strangely soft about it. It almost makes you wonder if like, oh, this is maybe going to be easier. It's not like as hard of a plating. And then it reaches all the way, the apex point of it, this wide, roughly like, I'm going to say it's about 15 feet tall. It is a very big robot. This is the biggest robot and the beefiest robot. Clearly there are modifications. It's going to take a roll to see exactly if you want to try and figure out what the modifications actually are.
Yes,
and you're going to have to do that on your turn.
Okay.
Because as soon as it appears, you see Knock Knock is already looking around. She looks at Poltergeist. As it was rising up, she was already running away. So if you were looking at where she is, you can do that. But all you know is that she's booking in a different direction. Canvas is starting to square up. You see that he sort of whips his arms out with the ink whips that come alive from his tattoos, holding in his hands, and he cracks them. And he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, that's one big boy. Hi there, fella." And I'm going to need each of you to roll initiative as the robot immediately begins to advance.
Can we also have actions as it's rising up, since they each got to do an action as it's rising up? Out of the
Yeah, like a preparation type of thing, for sure.
So obviously I got my big killing stick and it's out, but can my action be, I want to know if we have to take the robot down to break the field to get the note. Can that be my action?
Yeah,
to
to look at that.
Okay, so that's probably intelligence.
Yes.
Well, how does one roll initiative in this game once again?
So, as a reminder, like the initiative in this game works by rolling an agility check, but instead of counting successes, this is the only time in the game where you actually count up the numbers on the die.
Got it.
So you add up the numbers on the die, and that's your initiative moment.
You ready for this?
Paramount is not
ready.
on the game.
Ooh, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
Nice!
Hey, okay.
That's the best I could possibly get.
6 for Jeremy. Everybody else is pre-rolled. So, Harriman.
Not only did I completely fail what I was trying to do my check for, I also got a 6 total.
Okay.
It's looking bad.
I imagine you have the higher...
I do.
Yeah. And BB.
13.
13. Ooh.
She out
Okay. One moment for me to arrange everything in the right order.
Man, it feels bad when you're like, ooh, that was a horrible roll, and me, I'm pogging out my mind because I got a 6.
Do you have 1 agility?
Yes!
What the fuck?
Everything went to intelligence, I imagine. What are your
And
stats?
willpower. It's
Okay.
111355.
Hell yeah. That build, though.
So, given you wanted your action before the initiative to be looking to see, what did you get on your intelligence to do that?
Oh, a full failure.
Oh, it was a full. Okay, yeah. So you were.
I can't figure it out.
No, you're not sure.
Hermon's like,
You're not sure.
this is a really big robot.
Yeah.
All you know is that Cambio said that somebody has to get it.
Yeah.
So, and this thing is distinctly between you and the tower.
Well,
I must
was,
make that
Okay.
clear.
I was trying to figure out, like, is the existence of the robot fueling the energy field around the ticket and how to disable it? And I
Yeah,
have
and
no
that
idea.
you got
No
no
idea.
idea. Yeah. You guys may have spread out. So on your turn, you can tell me where you spread out to. But first, in initiative, as usual, BB.
So I'm just gonna kind of fold my pre-game action into my normal action. And it's just gonna be that she's gonna start running forward, and as the thing is coming up, try to propel herself by shooting downwards into the ground up onto its shoulder.
Okay.
So it'll be a power roll plus what?
This is because it's a movement-based thing.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be a power roll plus your agility.
Okay, check. So power roll, and then I got a success on the power die and a success in the other roll. So I think that's like 2 out of overall 4, but 1 out of 3 for the agility roll.
So counting the power die, it was 2 out of 4.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, so you are able to get onto it. You propel yourself up, you shoot a concussive blast, and you're trying to land where? On its shoulders?
On its shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, so propelling yourself 15 feet, I think that's within the limit of like about how far you can go, unless you roll really,
Tight.
really well, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you roll a big success, but
Mhm.
on average, like 10, 15 feet, pretty good. Yeah, so
Perfect.
you propel yourself up onto it, and the sensor eye immediately, that red dot just zeroes in on your position.
Okay.
And what's going to happen
Oh,
is
God.
you have come in contact with it.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh, well, BB's dead.
So, as
Don't
you
look at me.
immediately as you touch it, you feel reverberations from this strange shock absorption that you've landed on. This armor plating here, this hard rubbery armor plating, and you see something light up on the inside of it, this crackling sort of blue. And then there's an eruption right out of the seams, right around where you are, of electricity that shoots right into where you are touching the robot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna roll for that, for this
Mhm.
electric surge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Can I try to withstand it?
Yeah, well, okay. This is not an avoidance thing because you're touching it. You're going to
Yeah.
have to roll to mitigate the damage
That's what I mean,
functionally
yeah.
and
Constitutional.
stay on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it does this ability, it is going to auto like do it. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
can
yeah.
stay on or not.
Hey, yo, this ain't no thing. BB
got-
just
Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
BB just so smart. She just getting deep intel for us. That's all she's
Listen.
doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. Like,
I love to throw myself into danger just to get the facts.
This is
Jeremy
technically the
now
scientific method.
Jeremy understands why BB threw herself out the second story window.
4 out of 3.
4 out of 3. So it got 1, 2, 3. So it got 3. So because you got more, you can take half the damage.
Okay.
Do
Can I
it.
hold on as well?
I think it would be, what kind of roll did you make? Constitution?
I thought
Yes.
that's what it was to try to negate damage.
To negate damage, yeah. So you're also going to have to make a dexterity beating like what it got.
Do you mean agility? Or is dexterity different?
I think it could be dexterity or agility because it's
Okay.
agility to like throw yourself off, but dexterity to like you know, you're taking your hands off the wheel, you know. So it could be either.
Google.
But you are going to take.
Hey, there we go. 3 out of 3.
Hey.
Power die.
it.
Was a fail, so it only rolls 1d6, and it rolled bad. So.
Loser.
4. So you would take 4 points of damage, but you
Okay.
have it, so you take 2.
Okay, we're out here. We're figuring things out.
And I need you to beat a 3.
I got
with-
3.
You got a 3.
Uh-huh.
And so it would go to you. So if you want to stay on, you can.
I do. And this may inevitably screw me over, but I'd love to get a shot at the eye if I can.
Yeah. Because you took a power shot to get up there,
Yeah.
you would have to wait till your next turn.
Oh
to-
yeah, I didn't
to
think
do
it.
that.
I knew that's in my turn. Yeah.
Got it. Cool. So next up would be Silhouette,
Ooh.
who immediately turns invisible
Hell yeah.
and she is going to try and analyze this thing. She's going to take a look at it.
With her smart brain. She's so smart. Look at all those dice you're rolling. She's so smart.
Who's smarter?
Probably you. With 5?
Yeah,
I don't think
she
Silhouette
has a
is
5.
5.
Oh, she has a 5?
No, I don't.
No,
think
no,
she
I don't
has
think
a
Yeah,
five.
I didn't think so either. But
He has a 5.
yeah, so Okay.
It's a stupid ass build.
It's working out pretty well so far, though.
Yeah, either I get crushed or I crush.
Hell
so
yeah.
she gets 2.
Okay.
On 2 successes, as she's analyzing this thing, she shouts out to you, to everyone, really. She goes, "The mechanism on the terminal is not with the robot. They're separate. The robot's just in our way."
Okay.
And as she continues to run invisible, after she speaks, you see that sensor eye that was trained on BB moves around and it fixes on something that you don't see.
Mm.
Next is Poltergeist's turn. So Poltergeist is immediately going to whip his head around to look at where Knock Knock went. He seems to notice where she went, so he's fine. And he looks back. You see, he begins to bring his hands up this way. He upturns them and rises up this way. And you see from a pouch on his belt, it opens up on its own. Rather, he is opening it remotely. And out from inside are 3 marble-sized little spheres made of pure, solid, glistening steel. And as they rise up, he begins to do this with his finger, and they orbit around his head like 3 glinting stars. And then he goes, and you see one of them sails out right toward that sensor eye as he's going to try to make a shot at it.
Go PG. Rolling.
Ooh.
3, 4, okay.
Ooh. Oh.
Ooh. Whoa. Woo.
So he deals 3 points of damage as you see this functionally like a musket ball made of pure steel just sails out with the power of his mind directly into the sensor eye, and it cracks it. You see this distinct like bullet hole. It lodges itself in, and he's going to use the rest of his turn to try and he tries to pull it out, and you see it's and it comes out and goes back toward him
Oh, yeah.
and goes back into the orbiting rotation. Okay,
Ooh,
a lot of NPCs in this fight.
Yeah.
So next is Knock Knock. And I'm going to say nobody knows what she's doing. Unless anybody tells me they're distinctly looking at her,
No.
she's run away and she's gone. But she is going to... Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm not telling anybody what Knock Knock is doing until it becomes relevant.
Nope.
So, that makes it Caramel's turn.
Oh shit. Okay. I immediately forgot what Silhouette said. She said the terminal for the thingy, for the orb, the ticket
Has nothing to do with the
has
robot.
nothing to do. The implication is break the terminal, break the field. Based on that,
Yeah,
That's what
that's what the terminal is to access the force.
how far away am I from it?
Well, however you want to position yourself kind of in this combat was up to you. Kind of you had a moment to square up wherever you want to. So if you were on the other side of it closer to the tower, you could have been.
I would do that if Canvas and Poltergeist were on the opposite side. If Canvas and Poltergeist were on the far side
Yeah.
of the terminal, I would be on the so I would be wherever they aren't to get good ground coverage of people who can fight in this situation.
Yeah, Poltergeist tried to position himself. He's keeping his distance from the bot, but he moved around the pit where it came out of, which is no longer a pit, but he's moving around the left side.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely want to be near the terminal for the ticket itself, if that's possible. I'm gonna gonna throw my knife, my handy dandy knife. I'm gonna throw it at the terminal for the ticket on the tower, if I can. If it's
Throw that
not
knife.
too far away. I will also move there
Sure.
to be able to throw it.
So this doesn't have it's an inanimate object, so this is just going to be an over half success thing.
But it is melee weaponry. Even though I'm throwing it, it is a melee weapon.
You're throwing it. See, to me, melee implies like in RPG, TTRPG terms, melee is melee, right? It doesn't mean.
But like a dagger
a
is a
distance
melee
thing.
weapon, and it can still be thrown. In
Yeah.
D&D and stuff.
If you're
I-
spec'd into weapons, I'll accept it. Which you are, so
Yeah, I am.
that's fair. That's a fair use.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. Oh, okay. So it's 2 out of 3. So that's, I mean, it's a 3, so it's automatic. 2/3
Yeah.
is over half.
Okay. Yep.
So
2 out of 3 is good. So roll the damage that you would roll for this.
which is just a D6.
Just a D6
right?
plus your What did you use to throw it?
I assumed it would be, well, it's the same number. I assumed it would either be strength or dexterity. I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume it's strength because I'm like hucking this thing.
Okay. Whichever one you used for the attack is the one you're going to add to it
Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter because it's the same.
because it's the same number. For reference, I do prefer to know, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 5 points of throwing knife at a screen damage.
okay.
Love that type of damage.
So you throw the knife at the screen, and you do see that the knife cracks the screen
Mm-hmm.
and it short circuits. And in doing so, the force field flickers a little bit, but it doesn't go out.
Mm.
In fact, what happens is you see a sort of a metal shell emerge out and clamp itself around the force field.
Ooh. Scientific method. We're fucking around and we're finding out.
So, and as I think Silhouette is going to use her reaction,
Mhm.
and you hear her go, "Oh, bad, bad, bad. Nope, that's a bad thing. We don't want that."
Got it.
Everyone's gonna be like, well, thanks for telling me earlier. But
I didn't know.
but as Harriman is going to throw it, I've seen what tattoos that canvas has, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen that some of them are animals.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna, as I'm pulling out my knife and throwing it, I'm gonna say, Canvas, do you have anything that could maybe chew on the wires of this big boy? And then I'll throw it.
Yeah, I got a few little critters. But that was bad. Yeah, I've got a few little critters. There we go. That was better. Australian is hard.
Okay.
It
So
is.
hurting the screen made it protect it even harder. Where am I in relation to other people on my team? Am I far now? Am I farther away from them all?
Well, you said you got closer to
throw it.
the tower itself.
Yes.
So yes, from my understanding, yes, BB is up on top of the
Mhm.
creature, which is only maybe 10 feet from you at this point. It's
Right.
like
Okay. So
pretty close.
It's not.
Knock Knock is nowhere to be seen. Canvas, it looks like he's beginning to make his way.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably come over to in your direction to like cover you a little bit.
Okay.
Silhouette is gone.
I'm gonna try to triangulate myself 15 feet from the tower, 15 feet from Big Robot, and that's my turn.
What is your base like perception, your willpower? It's pretty good, right?
It's 3.
It's 3. Okay. So I'm going to say, because you distinctly made eye contact with the screen to throw knife at it,
Yes.
you will notice, because you're closer to it, looking directly up, and it's angled slightly down too. There are a series of shapes and colors swirling around in different patterns blinking across that screen. And there is a touch interface terminal with like a keypad, like a touch keypad.
Interesting.
So you do see that now.
Okay.
Is that what you got?
Yes.
Okay.
15 feet from everything and everyone.
That brings us down to Jeremy.
Ooh, as part of my, I didn't say it earlier because I didn't want to break up the flow, but as part of my pre-game action, could I have looked and seen how chuffed Pantheon was with herself and how proud she was of her robot.
Yeah, you see, she is not emoting very much. She is sitting up in the stands, far enough away that she's trying not to be seen. All you can really tell is that she's leaning, like watching, covering her mouth as she just watches everything that happens.
Nice try, Sasuke. I know how happy you are with it.
Sasuke is a really big vibe.
All right. Jeremy will then. He kind of just let himself be in front of the big robot. He'll back up as he'll say, "Blazing Dawn to me," and you'll see this giant like frame and this like kind of Gundam style mecha will appear out of fire and stand in front of it, and it will punch big robot.
Okay.
Use big
Jeremy's
fire.
powers are so insane. I love them.
I'll say that that's a controlling flame. So yeah.
So D12 plus your willpower or intelligence.
Yeah, I'll use my intelligence for this.
Got it.
What's the successes on the D12?
6 or higher.
6 or higher? Okay, cool. So, oh god,
Ooh,
that's
yeah. It's more than half because it's 1 through 3 or 4 through 6.
That's exactly half.
Yeah. So that makes it 1 through 6. So it is a 7 and up. Sorry.
okay.
It's been too long since we've had combat.
Well, that was garbage. Let's see. For the normal D6s, it's 1 out of 5, and I got a success on the D12.
1. Okay.
So altogether, it's 2 out of 6.
So you got 2. It also gets 2, and it would go to you. But you notice it does not try to move out of the way. It just stands there, squares itself up, and you see those plates as you attack it. Those rubbery plates are sort of absorbing that fire somewhat. And so it's going to tank the damage and take half. So you did hit it, but it's now going to take half of it. Because it failed, it doesn't get the full brunt of its ability, but it does automatically only take half.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your damage. You
Uh,
rolled, did you fail on the D12, you said?
No.
You succeeded on the D12.
Yeah.
So you would roll 2d6.
2d6. Ooh. Put you there. 2d6. Big money, no whammies. 6.
And did you add the modifier? For whatever skill you used? You said intelligence, so plus your intelligence.
6 plus 5. 11.
11 damage is nice to see, which would be, so it would be 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do see that fire. Some of it penetrates through the cracks a little bit, and you see some sparks, but most of the fire, it almost looks like it's completely just absorbed and deflected by these rubber plates.
He will call out and say, Haramon, Silhouette, get up that tower. I'll cover you. I'll distract it.
It is now Big Robot's turn.
Oh, shit.
Ruh-roh.
Please, I want to have a mecha battle so
Big
bad.
Robot gets 2 attacks. With its first,
That seems
It's-
unfair.
going to reach up and try to grab BB.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make any opposed roll?
Yes. So that is going to be agility to, not get hit. It's just a dodge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What do you got?
1 out of 3?
It gets 4.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
reaches up and successfully grabs you.
Uh-huh.
But that's going to count as one of its attacks, thankfully,
Okay.
because it has grabbed you.
But the
And
other
then it
attack.
chucks my body
Yeah.
against the concrete wall, like plankton.
It's gonna throw you at me.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Oh no!
That is literally exactly what it does.
How do I know?
So as it takes you, BB, as it throws you, because it made that first one, this is its ability.
Okay.
You're gonna try to catch yourself. So
Okay.
you're gonna need to make an agility check against the throw.
Okay. There we go. Okay. That's a 5 out of 3.
Damn.
2 successes.
So I rolled a 3. So you are going to be able to mitigate the damage a little bit. You will
Love
be
it.
able to take half of that.
Okay.
So
I
you take 3 points of damage,
Okay. That's fine.
but Jeremy, I need you to also make an agility check, a dodge check, if you will.
I was gonna try to just jump onto the tower, but now I think maybe it is Jeremy's silhouette or Hermon gets banged up onto the tower, by which I mean repulsive blast.
Watch this. Boom. 6, 2.
You.
2 out
Okay.
of 1. I only got 1.
So Jeremy,
I'm cracked.
you take the full 6 points of damage
Yeah.
as BB just collides into you. BB, you managed to break your fall enough. Like you're absorbed here, and you catch
I
yourself
broke my
in the
fall
end.
with Jeremy.
You broke your
Yeah.
fall with Jeremy, but Jeremy gets hit with BB. So yeah, Jeremy, you take 6 points of damage. BB, you roll and you catch yourself, but it hurt a little bit.
You like
Yeah.
kick me in the face as you go by to catch yourself.
I'm cool. You know,
It's fine.
we'll get it together. We're getting it together. This is all new.
And you see that sensor eye continuing to beep and look around and scan the environment. But you see now when it goes over that crack that's been made,
Mhm.
it stops a little bit and it has a blind spot now
Got it. Okay.
that it can't see. So now it's Canvas's turn. So you wanted to do some specific stuff with Canvas. So now we're going to move into a phase where you guys can actually help control what the NPCs do in this combat. So if there's something you
Oh.
want Canvas to do, what are you thinking that should be?
I wanted him to turn into a little like mouse, or not him, but like hit whatever tattoos that he has available.
Mhm.
I think there's a little mouse,
Okay.
and I wanted him to send that little. I don't know what his like how his power really works, like me and also Haramon, but I wanted him to send his little tattoo mouse into the robot and eat the wires of the robot.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he, you see, where should this tattoo be?
I think
You made the
I
boy. Where do
think
you want
what
that to be?
happens actually is he can send out tattooed things as far as he has tattoo ink, you know?
Yeah.
So like I think the mouse is what would be a cute place for a little mouse tattoo to be?
Honestly, a hand would be pretty cute, just like right on the. But I'm down for
Mhm.
anywhere. That's just my placement in my mind.
I was thinking maybe like top of thigh.
Top of thigh is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top of
So
thigh.
he'll pull up one of the sleeves of his shorts. He is always wearing shorts and a tank top. Sleeves of his shorts. What am I talking about? He pulls up a pant leg, and you see that black outline of a mouse, and he puts his hand on it and he pulls it up, and you see this elastic tar ink like substance come out of his hand, and he casts it out this way, and you see it forms into a little mouse, into a little Muad'Dib. Personality is now Dune.
I love it.
And this little mouse with these big ears. It's like a little Hollywood movie mouse. And goes, well, go on there, mate. Don't be scared. And the mouse scurries off of him and runs up to the robot. And we're gonna see what he does.
I mean,
It's
the
Michael
robot
Myers.
is so big and the mouse is so small and also made of ink. You
The
know
mouse
what
gets a
I mean?
power die
The mouse.
Wow.
because it's his power
Yes.
to do this. That's not great.
No.
1, 2. Okay, so that's 2. We'll see how the robot does.
Fail,
Because it's
fail,
going
fail,
between the
fail.
plates,
Yeah.
it's not going to get its D12 situation. It's just going to roll a base con.
Mhm.
It gets none. That's extremely lucky of this mouse.
Yes. Mouse.
So, because it rolled 0 successes against all odds, 0 successes, there's going to be an effect of this. 0 successes is essentially a critical fail when something like this happens. So,
As the mouse deals a little bit of damage, I'm going to say, because the power die was a fail, so it's going to roll only 1d6. That's still pretty good. So it deals 9 points of damage to this thing because of this idea.
Let's fucking go.
As you see, it chews through some sort of wire, and that electric sparking, let's just say it's a good thing BB's not there, because it essentially sets off one of those electric reactions. But smoke billows out from between the plates. As you see, its ability to do its shock ability is now gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the detonation actually hurt it. So
Fuck yeah.
you get good effects when the enemy completely fails with 0. Okay, so that's Canvas's turn. We go back up to the top with BB.
All right.
Picking yourself up off of Jeremy.
So, I'm sorry. Again, that doesn't normally happen. Oh gosh, I think she's just gonna. She's willing, like. We don't know where Silhouette is. Herman, what's your intelligence?
2.
We have the same intelligence. Because I want to get somebody up onto the fucking platform at the top. But I think BB's best move is just to take shots at this point, since she already got knocked down. So I think she's going to strafe to the side and shoot at kind of like a cardinal point, maybe to the left of where... how's everybody positioned? She'll shoot at the point where the most people are, so that it can't see them. Does that make sense?
Yes, I am triangulated 15 feet from the tower and 15 feet from Big Robot.
Okay. So she'll just shoot at the space in which you can see the most people. So 1 power die. All right, that's gonna be 3 out of 4 successes with a success on the power die.
Okay, so your specific goal, your outcome is what?
To do the same thing that Poltergeist did, essentially, to blind a part of the sensor, but the part of the sensor that is the most people are within the range of.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me roll. It doesn't get its plating shock absorption because the plates aren't up there in the sensor area. That is a weakness that is exposed.
And obviously these are not the propulsion blasts. These are the real laser blasts. Because he ain't a real boy.
It rolled really good.
Oh no.
1,
Oh,
2,
no.
3, 4.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
3 5s and a 4.
And what did you get again?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Okay. Yeah. So you take the shot at this sensor and it pulls an arm up that is covered in this thick rubbery armor. And it just, and your shot just booms off. Like it literally deflects it off.
Just a little tiny bit of damage.
Not on that one.
Oh man, okay, no worries. That's the end of my turn then.
That was a good effort. But yeah. It rolled too good on its
Close, but no cigar.
So that now makes it Silhouette's turn.
Oh shit.
Let's see. Does anybody have anything they want Silhouette to do?
Well, I wanted Silhouette to ascend the tower to try and figure out the panel situation.
I feel like Silhouette turning invisible was not the move.
So Silhouette, as an invisible person, begins to try and climb up the tower.
Is it fully smooth, or is there like ways to climb?
There are handholds
Oh, okay.
and footholds, like a rock climbing tower.
Okay.
So she's gonna try it.
Yeah. There she go.
Please don't fall.
Yeah, please don't fall.
You're invisible. We can't see you.
She rolls a 1 out of 3.
Uh-oh.
She didn't roll 0, so she doesn't fall off of it. But because she rolled a 1 out of 3, it takes her entire movement to get up it. So she had to get up to it, and she gets halfway up it. She doesn't make it all the way to the top. But she's up there.
Okay.
Climbing 10 feet and however long our rounds are, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But she if she had rolled really good, she could have gotten all the way up there in her turn. But she did not. She is, however, trying to stay in its blind spot. She's climbing up the opposite side, which is probably why it took extra movement too, because she had to get around to the other side from where she was.
So that's Silhouette's turn. Next is Poltergeist. Poltergeist is going to... He's going to do something. He reaches out psychically to see... No, he wouldn't. You know what? No. We're going to do something else.
Okay.
Poltergeist is actually going to just try to perceive. He has really good willpower. That's kind of his whole thing. So he is going to try and perceive what's going on with the tower. We're going to see if he can see Silhouette.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. Yeah, he can tell that Silhouette is climbing the tower. So he sees that. He surveys the area. So you guys only, like, anyone who's watching Poltergeist only sees him, like, concentrating hard. You actually see temporarily the things around his head, they fall into one of his hands because he's no longer controlling them. He's controlling something else. And he reaches out with these very, like, fluid motions and is pulling something up.
Little
He's hitting her
boost.
with the smolder
A little
and lifting
boosty
her up.
boost.
4, 5. 6. Yeah. Oh, he fully does it. No reason to hide it. He's levitating Silhouette up to the top.
Hot.
And he does so. Silhouette is now at the top of the tower, but each of you will also have to make a free action perception check to know if she's up there, unless she says something about it.
Which would not be smart.
Which would not be smart. Yeah, she's going to make the judgment call to not say something about it.
It's a 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3? Okay. Haramon, you can tell. You're pretty sure she's up there.
Is this
Because you're
intelligent?
putting together what...
What's I can see.
Yeah.
I'm connecting the dots.
3 out of 5.
Okay.
It's intelligence, right?
Yeah. It can also be willpower.
Yeah.
3 out of 2.
Okay. So you're all aware that Silhouette is up there now.
Yay.
Hey.
Go, girl.
It is now
Give us everything.
Knock Knock's turn. Nobody knows where she is, but you guys do notice one of the sentinels from the
my
far
God.
left. One of the like on the left side, robot sentinels holding one of these weird spears that doesn't actually have a tip. I should note, there's no tip. Suddenly, it sparks to life. The eyes light up green, and it begins to walk up. You see the spear tip ignite with a laser tip. It turns its little robot head, and it goes, "I'll help you, Cargo Pants." It flips the spear up as this robot sentinel, possessed by the astral projection of Knock Knock, throws the spear, again, now that you've exposed the weakness, toward the face, the sensor face.
Yay.
Who's cargo pants?
That's what she calls
Silhouette.
Silhouette. Oh, man. Okay. It has to roll bad.
Which it can do.
Which it can do, but it's unlikely. No, it does not roll bad.
No.
So you see the spear sails out, and she's just not strong enough moving this robot. You see it kind of creaks a little bit as she's trying to throw with her own strength, but it's the robot body strength. And so it kind of flies weirdly, and it collides into the plated portion, and it just goes and deflects off, and the spear just sort of clatters to the ground ineffectually. And you just hear the robot go, "Dang." It is now a Haramon's turn.
Okay. Okay. Silhouette is she's basically up there. She's gonna probably handle it 'cause she's super smart and amazing and awesome and beautiful. Where's my knife? Is it in the panel? Or did it fall
Yeah.
out of the panel?
I think it's that's a good point. How can we roll to determine that? How strong you threw it, maybe?
I mean, I did 5 points of damage. It's not the I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
And And also throwing, I didn't know that the angle I would be throwing it at would be practically directly up. That's not a really like strong way to throw something.
Right. Well, it didn't have to be. You did say you were 15 feet out, which I didn't fully process. So if I was wrong about that, that's totally cool.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say because you actually successfully hit it, it's up to you whether the knife is in it or it fell.
I think it fell.
Okay.
I think I need to put my own character in physical danger if I can help it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I will I'll pick up my knife and I'm like, how am I most helpful? And I'll throw it at the sensor eye of the robot.
Okay.
But that's also strength. Oh, that's not very good. It's a 1.
That's a 4.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, again, the knife flies up to try and hit the sensor eye, and once again it bats it away with the armored arm, and just.
But I did say that.
Yeah.
I did say, how am I most helpful to
Yeah.
the group? So anyone can respond.
It is now Jeremy's turn.
Jeremy's turn.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy will command his own mecha to try and hit Big Robot again.
Do a hit on them.
Just really clobber him.
Big money, no whammies.
Ooh, I think that's no. Wow, that's actual trash. Damn, I am not rolling hot. That is 3 out of 6.
And are you aiming for the sensor or for just the basic armor plating? Body?
I'm just trying to hit it.
Okay.
Trying to keep its attention on me by hitting it.
How many did you roll again?
3 out of 6.
I only rolled 2.
Wow.
Ooh. But the D12 was a failure, so only 1d6.
1d6 plus your intelligence.
Oh, that's not oh God! Roll it on the table, forehead. 11.
11, so 5.
Max damage. Max
Whoa!
damage.
Because it takes half because you went for the body. So 8. Okay. As you do this, again, you see those plates are absorbing a lot of the fire, but the pure blunt force of it is pushing through. And the fact too that this is fire, it's not all physical. When it punches, some of that does get in there and is singeing up. This thing is smoking, and you see its movements are starting to slow. It is very hurt, very, very damaged. That's your turn?
Yeah. I'll back up a little bit and also rub my face while looking at BB. A little bit more scared than usual.
Very fair. So once again, we arrive at the robot's turn. Ordinarily, it would use its sensor eye to detect silhouette up on the tower. However, she was very smart in going, just like using the blind spot that you guys were able to expose and create. So what the robot is actually going to do now is it's going to go over and try and get who was the biggest threat to it, who actually hurt it. Jeremy, you're the only one who actually has hurt it really badly. So I think it stomps over and it's just going to try to punch you.
It has to get past my fire mech.
It does. So this could be a fun element of your power. You can make an opportunity attack for the fire thing that is active.
Yes. The blazing dawn never lets me down. Thank you, Freddy. Oh my God. Jeez, bless America. Help me. Please, D12s, be nice to me. But that is still a 5 out of 5.
5. I rolled 4, so it does actually hit.
Oh, I'm cracked.
Still only takes half,
Hell yeah.
but it does hit.
Damn, that's not as good. Only 7.
7.
Yeah. I'm just giving you
This
odds.
You see the plating of it begins to boil and melt from the inside.
Yeah.
And parts of it are slipping off of it. And it lumbers slowly over to you. On its last legs, it is just frantically. The eye is like then laser focused on you. Make a desperate attack, and it's gonna punch.
Rock my shit, I'll tell you this right now.
Punch, 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 punch.
Jeremy, rock me like a hurricane.
Okay. So that's 3 versus your agility.
It's not even possible for me to contest that. Let's see what I got. Nope. Nada.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate price of low agility.
Yo.
So it only is gonna roll a d6 because the power die was not a success.
Okay.
3 plus 5, so 8. You take 8 points of damage as this thing just, and it smashes down on you into the center of your chest.
Bonk.
That hurts.
I imagine that Jeremy was like, "Ha, take that, boss."
Yep. And on its second attack, let's see. I think it's going to turn around with one of its arms. It's going to bring it up to the best of its ability where a little cannon sits at its wrist that it hasn't gotten to use, and it's going to take a wild shot over at Harimo. It doesn't get to roll as many die on the cannon as it does for its, because this is not like a power die situation.
Okay. No, come back.
Well, oh no, it is an ability. It's just on a weaker ability, so it is. Oh, but that doesn't matter because it sucked.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Yeah, I got a 1. So it shoots out at you with this cannon, and you just like flip out of the way.
Eat my nards.
Man, we are not making the PvP training look good right now. We are the only two that have gotten damaged.
Not at all. It's rough out here for us.
Ah, thematically, that's pretty cool.
And we arrive now at Canvas, who is going to run up to it, and he is going to. You see the mouse runs back, crawls up his leg, and then becomes 2-dimensional once again, as he takes his arms where these 2 long whip coils are, and they rise up from his arms and then slide down as he whips them forward. He twirls them around, and he goes, "All right, man, I know how to wrangle a croc," and he whips these out, trying to grapple the arms so it can't do much of anything anymore.
Mm.
Oh, I've wrangled with a skippy before.
3. Okay, so he rolled 3 versus 2. So he is not trying to do damage. So he's not going to do damage. This is explicitly a grapple. But he does successfully do it, as he actually manages to lash out at the arms. They whip around the wrists and then pull the arms down as it's like, and you see now his muscles on his arms are tensed as he's pulling, and he's dragging as it's trying to pull him forward, but he's got it. And he plants himself and he smiles. He goes, "Yeah, now would be a good time for an attack." The next attack is going to have 2 levels of advantage. So up to 2 rerolls, 1 for each arm that is restrained. And we go up to BB.
Third verse, same as the first. No, second verse, same as the first.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start blasting, and I'm going to move in such a way that if it falls, it's not gonna. I imagine that my laser blasts have some sort of force behind them, so if it starts tipping over and falling, it's not gonna crush anyone that I can see. Is that fine?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is advantage, right?
So yeah, you get 2 rerolls
Okay, got you.
on 2 different. It has to be 2 different die, so you can reroll up to 2 failures.
All right. We out here. Okay. Sorry. Math. 5 out of 3 power die is a success.
What the
Look
fuck?
at this roll.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
no.
Fucking insane. I rolled a 7, a 4, and 3 6s.
4 and 3 6s. Damn. Okay. Well,
Were you
fuck me
were you
then.
were you aiming for the first of all, I do need to know, were you going for the body or the sensor again?
Sensor again.
Okay, so that does change things.
Okay.
That is good. That is
Okay,
good to
good.
know because I should reroll that. Because if you're going for the sensor, it doesn't get the power die.
Got you. Okay. Very merciful. Very merciful.
I roll so good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4.
I got 5.
You got 5. So you do the
Yay.
damage. And it
Tight.
won't be
So-
halved because it's on the sensor.
So it's the damage of the skill associated with it plus the modifier of the skill?
Yeah. So did you roll a success on the D12?
Yes.
So 2d6
2d6. Okay, got it.
plus the modifier that you used, the ability. modifier that you
So that's only going to be 7 points of damage.
Well, it only has 1 point of damage. So how do you want
Hey!
to destroy this thing?
BBC's Jeremy use his mech to kind of hold it off. We see Canvas pull these restraints up, and she strafes over to one side and shoots at it, like lines up her shot, and then goes, whispers to herself, bang, and then it hits like the side of the head, and then you see it kind of start going over to the other side. Or the sensor on one side of the head, and it starts falling over to the opposite side.
Yes. And this thing just slowly, the lights of that sensor eye, first of all, you shatter the thing completely. And that sensor light, you actually see the bulb inside moving around the mechanism. It's just like...
And maybe you see the
Stops.
laser blast go out the other side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the head now smoking through the plates. The plates just automatically recede now, now that it's just depowered, and it's reverberating through this stadium ground as you're left in this moment. As it falls, Canvas, he's got the good sense, and you rolled high enough that when this happens, he takes the whips up and out and keeps his composure. And there's this moment of silence with you all standing around this thing. And in that moment, while no one is speaking or shooting, you hear this of fingers clacking on the screen, and you see that metal ball up above open up, and the force field is gone. You see Silhouette reappear, sitting on top of the tower, holding the card. Got it.
Queen icon.
Silhouette number 1.
Number 1.
Oh, my bones.
BB will walk over to Jeremy and be like, that was 95% you. I just did the cleanup shot.
Nah, you give yourself too little credit. I mean, if it makes you feel better, that this was 50% robot and you, so.
She actually laughed at that. How's Haramon doing?
I retrieve my hunting knife and I put it back in the back sheath that it lives in, and I assume that Poltergeist lets Silhouette down softly, but as she's coming down, she's floating down, I just sort of reach up my hands for her to take and hold, as just
I love
light
that.
on the ground.
Amazing.
Yeah.
As Canvas and the robot now, you look over at the robot that a Knock Knock was possessing, and it just and the arms drop. And after a minute or so, you see Knock Knock walks out from one of the doors. I'm not very good at robots. I'm better with people, but that was cool.
That was very cool.
I like the fire robot the best personally. That was my favorite part. But other people can have favorite parts also. I'm not gonna monopolize the favorite parts. And Poltergeist looks to his team and then to your team, and he goes, "No. Seems like You guys are pretty handy in a scrap. I think he looks over at Cambio, and there's this respect and deference there. As Cambio does float down with Pantheon as well, Poltergeist goes, I think I get it. Why this was important for our teams to work together. And he looks to you guys like he's questioning, like, do you guys see sort of the utility of this?
Yeah, I mean, I've done better work, but you guys crushed it.
I'm seeing stars,
Oh.
and I'm not just
Hey.
talking about you guys.
Canvas goes, I mean, we've, we all have to use our powers in a sort of a creative way, but we're not necessarily up close fighters the way that you are. And you've come up against all kinds of things that, we're not really talking about. But a lot of the time, it seems like and Pantheon interjects and goes, not ready for you. Most of the things that you've faced have been prepared somehow by me, but not for you specifically. I think the combination of Cambio's team's exquisite creativity and your raw combat prowess, they've introduced a new element of trust in combat that I don't think you fully grasped yet. That there's a line between that creativity, between relying on others besides your group, letting other people into that scenario and really allowing creativity in combat against someone. And Cambio now, she looks to Cambio and he goes, against someone who knows what you are capable of. You see, the farther you go, you will make enemies that will last through your entire lives. The unfortunate byproduct of choosing this life, or if you did not choose it, if this life called to you. Your enemies, they will know you. The world will know you, and that means that sometimes they will be prepared with ways to combat your abilities very specifically. I think with more practice, all of you together will each be able to do this, to find that balance. But for now, I congratulate you. And I offer you your prize. And he looks over to Silhouette holding it, and she turns it over in her hands and she goes, huh. She hands it over to Haramone to examine. And you see, it is indeed an old school business card.
Oh.
And there are similar colors on it to Cambio, that red and green, and then some yellow are on there. And what you see is this is a business card for what seems to be a restaurant.
Wow.
And the title on
Hey.
it says Casita Rosita.
Ooh,
cute.
And on the
very
back,
cute.
there is an address. And the address states that this is somewhere in a place in First City that I don't think you've heard of yet. It's a place that is on the card referred to as NPC. And as you say this out loud to everybody, I'm going to have BB, you've lived in the city your whole life, so you can make an intelligence roll. Jeremy, you might make an intelligence roll, but I think BB will have a level of advantage, like one level of advantage for having lived here your whole life.
Okay. Ooh, 3 out of 2.
3 out of 2.
Cash money. Fuck. 1 second. I gotta do some math. Just give me a sec. 7
Oh,
out
wow.
of 5.
So both of you guys immediately know NPC is short for Nuestra Primera Ciudad, which translates to our first city in Spanish. This is an area of the first city where a lot of people who are descended from people from Mexico have created an area to really like keep that culture alive. That's something that's very common. There are areas like that for all different kinds of cultures all throughout the first city, areas where different people have sort of congregated and tried to recapture the energy of places where, you know, they are from back on Earth. This is essentially a very Mexican created area. And Cambio sees you guys sort of, put that together, and he goes, I understand that last night you celebrated this holiday in your own way, and I know it is not not everyone would prefer to work today. But I would like to offer you dinner for your efforts, and there is no need to wear your costumes or masks. This is a safe environment, a welcome respite.
I'm ready. I am so hungry.
I will
know.
go on ahead and make the preparations. Rosita will be very excited to have such esteemed guests.
Wow.
And he flies off, but before he does, he looks over and he nods at Pantheon. He goes, Pantheon, always a pleasure. I will see you tonight. Try to wear something that is not a sweater.
Damn.
And she goes,
Red.
right, should I grab a like a hooded cloak then? Would that be better? And he laughs.
Ooh.
He laughs heartily, and you see the relationship here. And he looks to his team and he goes, very well done, all of you. I will see you soon. And he flies off, and Pantheon looks to you all. She goes, what he said. See you tonight.
Bye, Mom.
Bye,
What?
Mom.
I don't know if I'm allowed off campus.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So this is something
Sneak
that you
him
can
out.
deal with.
Sneak him out.
And Knock Knock comes up to you, and she goes, oh, well, we can figure that out. I mean, I don't think what can we do? We can put some makeup on you. Maybe give you like a little wig or something.
Hell yes. This is happening. You can't say no.
I want the biggest wig you have.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to do over to later that evening as you all sort of dress in your civilian clothes for a night out and a peaceful dinner together with Team Cambio as you board the train and make your way, stepping off out into a vibrant city filled with color and life and smells. There are tons of like fruteros out on the streets. You see there are people out there like selling elote, which Knock Knock fully like participates in. And Pantheon sort of walking with you guys in her civilian outfit, which now includes like she's not wearing her wig, her hair is up, she's got big round glasses on, she's wearing like a nice t-shirt, and you guys are walking through this absolutely vibrant area that Haramon, this feels very home-like to you in a lot of ways. You see the people walking by and greeting you and tipping their hats to you, and the smells coming off of this place are just fresh and vibrant.
Bam, sense memory. Bam,
Yep.
sense memory. Bam, sense memory.
And you see families moving around, walking around this area. And there are certain elements of like 4th of July celebration happening, but it's manifesting very, very differently. A lot of it seems to be from the perspective of Mexican America.
Yeah.
And as you are moving through this area, you eventually arrive at this very quaint restaurant. It's designed almost like a cottage from the outside. And you see, Casita Rosita over top. And Cambio steps out to greet you, but you see that he's actually wearing a suit, but with his mask still on. It hits a little bit like Nacho Libre when the luchadors are walking around with like the suits, but they still have their masks on, like at the party.
Oh, believe me, I know.
That is absolutely. I think even he's wearing like a white suit.
Ooh,
He looks real sharp,
expensive.
and he steps out to greet you, and he says, "Please come in. The table is prepared. We have the top floor to ourselves."
Oh, yes. Yes.
And as you see people passing by,
Hell
you go,
yeah.
"Hey, Cambio!" And you see that he shakes hands with many people just walking by on the street. You see children running up to him. He ruffles their hair a bit, and they speak in Spanish and together, and you understand some of it. And it seems like he is just a member of the community of this place.
And by some of it, I can speak
All of it.
Spanish fluently.
Yeah.
It's just the dialects are they tend to clash, which is something Rapido and I have come to find. But that's a talk for another time.
And as he steps aside for each of you to enter this restaurant, stepping, up the stairs, you find that the bottom level has not been cleared out. There are people, and they toast. They toast to Cambio, and they don't seem to give any attention to like you guys specifically. You're just people who are here. You go up to the top floor, the sort of party area, and there are just tables set out for a big party, this big wide long table, and there are these beautiful like lamps and lantern light, this gentle glow in this room, and there are just piles and piles of tortillas, and you can make your own stuff, but then there are like just steaming hot plates of food being brought out. You meet Rosita herself, who is a woman in her like probably late 50s, but she's like impeccably like well kept, and you see she is wearing like kind of a traditional dress with like the big white sleeves, not a dress, but a traditional outfit, blouse. That's the word I'm looking for. She is wearing a more traditional blouse with green and red trim, with the big white sleeves and a long green skirt, dark black hair with just bits of gray around the ears, as she and Cambio laugh together, and she helps you set up and tells you like what the different foods are here if you're not familiar with it. And as this is all going down, you guys are starting to put your meals together and talk and hang out with this team that you before now haven't gotten to spend that much time with. Cambio stays back while this is all happening for a moment. And he steps up to you, Haramon, as you're watching this unfold.
Mm.
And he goes, "May I intrude for a moment?"
Sure.
I was just, I wanted to express to you my excitement to finally get to see you in action and meet you properly. I admit that my decision to bring you all to this place, while I would have done it regardless, it is colored by my admittedly limited knowledge of you. And while I cannot imagine what you are experiencing so far from home now, to bring you what is perhaps a piece of it that I can offer is something that I felt was important in this time of tumultuous things swirling around you and your friends. And I do believe that they are friends. I see that thread between you and my team as well. Connection there that I wish to see continue to flourish. If there is anything I can do for you going forward, please do not be afraid to ask. This place, this day, they have a complicated relationship, as you probably know, as one who has studied the past and treasures it. I believe you know that we have a history of making things for ourselves, no matter what life throws at us. And we have brought that here. A deep connection to things, that places that none of us have even set foot on or laid eyes on, but it still runs deeply here. I am happy to have you be a part of that. Come, let us eat. Feliz cumpleaños, Herman.
whoo, whoo, whoo. Haramon starts crying real bad, but not like an ugly cry, just like a that emotion of all that, just bam in the face. And I think Haramon just sort of like looks at him in his face because he has the like white covering in his mask, right? So where his eyes are, but you know,
He has those Batman eyes.
he has the Batman eyes, and just sort of like punches him very lightly. Like there's so many things I want to say, but I can't say because holy shit. And just says "Pues sí," and goes back to the like nothing happened almost. Like the fully crying but acting like it, don't pay attention to it, it's just happening. Like I'm just hoping that you get how much that means to me without me saying it, because if I start speaking, I'm gonna lose it sort of energy.
He walks with you back to the table as you assemble your plate. He sits down at one end of the table, Pantheon on the other, sort of framing these two teams mingling together with Canvas sort of chuckling, seeming more comfortable than you've ever seen him. Poltergeist sitting between the two of them and, you know, politely trying to navigate through the conversation. Knock, knock, cheese enchilada all over her face. As we fade out on this very peaceful and well-deserved night.
I think we fade out on Haramon, like kind of tipsy, just like full on like singing with the mariachis, like and like swaying with the main singer, and we like fade. That's what we fade out on.
Beautiful. And that is where we're going to call this episode. Thank you guys very much. It was fun to get back into combat again.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, and
I love it.
I've been waiting for Cambio for a long time. For many reasons, Cambio is he's a very deeply personal character to me, and I love him very much, very, very much. So it was so excited to finally step into those shoes, so to speak. Join us next time as we navigate this plot even deeper and further. Until next time, keep it super. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.